that's as much as I'm going to play this song because I don't know what the copyright status is behind the always beloved, extremely famous theme song to Power Rangers, the Tango Warrior or Tango Bye Bye song. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another one of these ill-advised live watches that we always do. Hopefully I'm coming through. Let's see who we have in the chat. We have Ketsune Rakaku, the only Roku streaming service and machine run by Ketsunes, the nine-tailed foxes. We have Warrior King Forever, a good friend of mine. I would have loved to have played more of the Tenga Bye Bye song, but I don't want to take any chances with his live stream because we're already taking tons of chances, considering this is a 20th Century Fox joint and a Walt Disney production and a Saban Entertainment thing. So who knows how long this is going to last, but if the live stream suddenly stops, you have some good idea what's going on. Okay, so I'm going to bring in our three special guests, Brayton, Wynn, and Andres. I'll be giving them their titles soon. And, yeah, okay, so for anybody who's new to these live watches we do, we are going to chat a little bit beforehand, probably for a good hour. It's a Saturday night, so you guys can probably stay up a little longer than usual when we sometimes do these live streams on Sundays or weekdays. But, yeah, know that we're not getting to the live watch right away, so if you want to go get a sandwich, go ahead. And we'll supply links to the movie. There's two not very good looking but otherwise decent versions of the film on YouTube, but we're watching from a new file. But anyways, let's begin the entertainment, shall we? So, or whatever. Hold on. No, I don't want that. No, stop. Stop. No more tank music. Okay.
Hello again.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello. Okay, that's 2 out of 3. We're sucker number 3. I mean, friend 3. Okay, so hi, Win and Andres.
This is already off to a wonderful technical start, isn't it?
It is. So, okay, so, we got 7 people watching so far. So, guys, you want to introduce yourselves?
Oh, we're already live on air? Shit.
Yes, we're already live on air. How dare you eat food?
Andres is amidst the Lucille Ball sketch right now, just eating an entire buffet on a conveyor belt.
All right. When I gave you half an hour heads up... Oh, wait, you had to go down to the local store to get food, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, that's okay. We'll probably be just BSing before we head on to the main movie.
Also, you never stated that we were going live.
Oh.
You never even stated that we were live to begin with.
We can't all be perfect little angels of technical superiority like you, Andres.
It's a simple fact. It's a simple saying, hey, we're live. We're going to go on the air. Here we go.
Well,
it's as simple as that.
Well, for any listeners that are ASMR enthusiasts, they got their quick fix.
Yeah. Well, I'm not to oh, whatever. I'm not to blame for this mess.
You're always to blame for every mess.
I'm sorry. I'm having my dinner drink.
Well, two can play at that game.
Oh my god.
Right. Okay, so we...
This could be the start of a new live stream series called Cacophony of Unpleasantness.
Hold on, let me get the comedy drum sting.
Badoom plop. There you go.
Comedy.
Raph, you don't... What are you Googling? Don't Google things.
Already too late, Raph. Stop. Please, don't.
Come back. Help, murder, police. Raph fell in the Ivan Ooze River. Waterfall River. Get out of there! You ruined my ooze!
Right. My ectomorphicons, they look like a big fat guy. I'm not fat. I'm big bone. And husky. I'm not gonna do that throughout the night. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So
Where are you?
I'm Batman.
I imagine your Megazord's just gonna be that like gold lighton, except instead of one big golden lighter, it's just gonna be one big giant juice box.
Oh, speaking of which, I actually have some Dinozords and Power Ranger names for you. Hold on. So
Scared.
okay.
Oh Lord.
Win, you are the sassy Styracosaurus.
Wait, what?
Okay.
It's like a Triceratops but with more horns.
Yeah. Okay. Andres, you are the robot-obsessed woolly rhinoceros. It's like a
Bit worse.
yes.
I sometimes get as such.
Yes, I am the paranoid plesiosaurus. And I'm sorry, Brayton, but you're the dandy Dimetrodon.
Oh, great.
Okay. So
Are you gonna draw this eventually? Are you gonna draw these Zords, Raph?
I don't know.
You should.
Yeah. You would say that robot-obsessed woolly rhinoceros.
I'm just glad I'm not Homo Borg. So I'll take the dandy. What is it? The dandy
Dimetrodon.
Dimetrodon. Okay.
Yeah, dandy Dimetrodon. So
What is that? What is that dinosaur?
it's actually
the one with the sail.
yeah, the
Oh,
sail.
he's neat.
Yeah,
Okay.
on four legs.
Yeah, although technically a Dimetrodon is actually a Thinkadont, which is an early reptilian precursor of the mammals. Or the mammal-like reptiles, as they're called, in which scientists still debate
Yeah,
whether
well,
or
in
not...
the King Kong memoirs, he just says, "I don't know what the fuck to call this thing."
It is like a lot of like Willis O'Brien and Peter Jackson stuff. It's like, fuck it. It's just
It's a big old dinosaur.
what's this thing with the two legs? I don't know.
The Tyrannosaurus. Okay.
All right, Win, are you okay with the sassy Styracosaurus?
It'll take me a bit to remember, and I'll probably butcher the shit out of it, but whatever.
Okay, so... All right, so everybody, we're here doing the Power Ranger live watch. Now, I was going to share those terrible YouTube versions of the movie, or should we just share the same Internet Archive file we're all going to be using tonight?
I mean, it's technically a public link, so I don't think there's anything wrong with sharing an Internet Archive link.
Okay, yeah. Plus, the person who... Our favorite movie pusher, for lack of a better term...
The Go-Kaiger Red himself.
Yes. Oh, wait, what should we give Gorazard his
Peggy
name?
the bootleg pirate.
Yes.
Right.
His Zord is literally a giant peg leg.
Right. David Gorazard of the pirating...
No, it's just a giant. It's just this giant smelly boot. Like a big old rubber boot.
Don't say that, so...
Do what you want, because a pirate is free. You are a pirate.
Pirates.
So yeah, we're gonna be watching... Okay, so technically we have Brayton to blame for tonight's show.
I originally said this as a joke. I have prepared an opening statement to express my feelings on being here.
Go ahead and read it. We shall be completely solemn in your reading.
Oh, it's pretty short and sweet, and it's a...
Oh god, that does hurt.
It does.
Yeah.
It's,
You got what you deserve, Raph.
no, it's pretty short and sweet. It's just a quote from the movie that expresses my feelings, and that is, "Welcome to my nightmare." I don't know why we're here. This originally started half as a joke that we should do this, but yeah, right after Mighty Joe Young, it's Mighty Morphin Power Ranger Joe Young, and this is gonna hurt, but I'm glad that it's a shared experience of pain.
Well, there's in addition to you kind of confusing me and making me think that this was something you wanted to do.
Oh yeah, this is something I wanted to do because as you know, my Power Ranger fandom knows no ends.
Oh yeah, I visited Brayton at his house one evening when he wasn't looking, and his bed's just a giant Dragon Zord made of wood and cardboard. So
Yep,
Yeah.
that's almost more complicated than that. But
right.
no, I have a connection, deep repressed childhood memories of this movie. My brother was famously in our family broke his arm doing a Power Ranger flip off the couch.
Oh my God.
Oh,
Well, no,
he
that's
was he was one of those kids back in the day that tried to imitate these stunts.
well. Here's the thing.
You're the one. Your brother's the one that ruined it for Britain and Australia.
No, he and my sister have a Bart Lisa Simpson like rivalry, and they were watching Power Rangers, and he did it at first, did it really good, and then she dared him to do it a second time, and that's when he botched it.
Oh, never do a backflip more than twice.
Yeah, so the good advice.
You're wrong. I speak from experience.
So yeah, the Power Rangers has sort of been a beset plague upon my my family lineage, and it follows me everywhere. And just when I think I'm free of it, I meet weirdos online who like it obsessively, and I've just been drop kicked into another watching of this wonderful movie from June of 1990 something.
95.
95.
Yeah. I did do some research, and I saw that this movie came out in between seasons 2 and 3 of Power Rangers, a month after season 2 ended, and 2 months before season 3 aired.
Yeah, and ironically, the same year that Godzilla died and Gamera became the Guardian of the Universe. So
I thought it was 96.
No.
No, you're right. Yeah, 95.
Yeah,
fine.
95. So it's kind of a good year for giant monster movies.
Isn't that what you said about 2019, 2018,
no,
2017?
Shut up. Where's that comedy drum roll? There we go. Okay, but yeah. So those are all right. So Brayton, he shared with me he had a file of the movie, and it's like, oh great, we can use it for a live watch, because I honestly don't want you guys to be watching giant monster movies you don't want to watch.
I'll shut my eyes.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I tried pressing. Oh, there we go. Okay, I tried pressing the comedy drum beat, but then I got like a 9-hour opera music thing playlist instead.
Why do you have that 9-hour opera live thing open, Ralph?
No, I accidentally clicked on it. I don't know why it's in my suggestions. So, okay. So it's like, oh, great, because it was either this or follow up with another King Kong film, and we had our choices between
Mighty Peking Man,
Son of Kong, and
Mighty Peking Man,
the Mighty Joe Young remake from 1996. And it's like, seriously, do we really want to sit for those two? Sit between those two monkeys? Who are roughly the same size now, thinking about it.
I would have watched the Mighty Peking Man.
Why would we want to watch the Mighty Peking Man?
Or Ape. Or
no, we
Yeti.
are not watching Ape. Maybe Yeti. Maybe we'll do a Yeti live watch one day. So there's a movie. It's like, I know based on your reaction, I think Win and Andres are gonna love Yeti. So because it's so terrible.
Oh god.
Yeah.
But no, this was at the height of Power Ranger mania, I imagine. When
big time, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. It's like, what is it? I actually did a little. Don't laugh, Brayton. I did a little bit of research before we began. I even have a note, a single-page note here with.
You took a Power Rangers masterclass, so you are well versed.
Yeah, it was just a cardboard box in the back of the alley where the pumpkin wrapper was like, give me money and I'll give you honey.
Ooh.
I don't know. That came out wrong. God damn it. Don't say anything.
See, you scared Win, Ralph.
You've turned her into the Grudge.
God damn it, Raph.
Are you half cat, half ghost? I don't get it. Okay. Well, he's a rhyming monster and I don't rhyme well, okay? So. Oh, I could have used funny or another word that ended with Y. Okay, never mind. Ugh.
Yeah, but at least warn us when you're about to share what you do in your downtime.
Shut up.
Hang around in dark alleys with pumpkin wrappers. Who want to give you honey.
Right.
Oh my god.
Damn it. This is why I have no friends. I don't know what your 3 deal is. Okay.
We try, Raph.
Yeah. What was I going to say?
Try.
Yeah. What was I going to say before my awkwardness and then lack of improving skills ruined me once more?
Nobody knows what you're talking about, Raph.
You did some research?
Oh yeah, I did. Yeah, I did a little bit of research before this movie began. So apparently, because of the extreme craze that happened with the Power Rangers, this movie went into production fairly quickly. As most Power Ranger fans know, the series was supposed to end around episode 40 with the two-parter Doomsday. That's the one where Goldar gets his own little Warzord Cyclopsis, and they have to one final fight to save the world. But because of the success of the show was cemented by that point, they decided to do more episodes using a lot of reused footage. Hence, we got those kind of embarrassing episodes with Goldar forcing the Green Ranger Jason go down memory lane, which was just a clip show. And then the episode where the Pudgy Pig came back, which was just basically the guy in the Pudgy Pig suit stalking a regular pig at a farm. I'm not kidding. That happened.
Okay.
Okay.
And this got a movie?
Yeah. I wish. Oh God! Raise your hand if you want to see a Pudgy Pig movie where he's just stalking pigs at a farm. Okay.
Pudgy Pig in the City.
So two things happened because of the surprise success of Power Rangers. Actually three things. There was a need to make more episodes and more footage, and instead of going straight into Die Ranger like they eventually did with season 2, they actually hired Toei Productions to film brand new footage known to fans as Ju2 or Zoo2, I don't know. Which is
That's how they pronounce it.
yeah, Ju2. Yeah. What is, oh God, that sounds terrible. Ju2. The film.
When you say Zoo 2, people are just thinking of Zoolander 2, and nobody wants to think of Zoolander 2.
We don't talk about Zoolander 2.
Right. I've never.
Exactly.
Is it really that bad? Okay.
That should speak for itself. That silence should speak for itself.
Okay, yeah. But so what happened with that was they filmed totally original footage and brand new monsters, all anthropomorphic animal-based or plant-based creatures. And that lasted for a good while, sending the first season to roughly a 60-episode count, or 65 for syndication purposes. Secondly, there was, of course, the infamous live show at Universal Studios, which was more just kind of a meet and greet with the cast, the actual actors themselves. And that
honestly, I would have loved that because I used to go to Universal Studios all the time.
Yeah,
so the fact that I missed that is a real shame.
Well, you would have missed it anyways, Andres, because it was a one-day event and it was so extremely popular that it infamously closed the Los Angeles highway because that's how long the line was to get to Universal Studios. So
damn.
So that pretty much cemented the fact that Power Rangers was a more than just a passing fad. Now it's a passing fad, but it's I don't know.
Yeah, kind of. It's like in a weird state of limbo where it's like it's relative, but it's not at the same time.
Yeah, and also most people just remember it from its first season. That tell them ask them what happened after the third season of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, and just blank stares, right, Burton?
Oh yeah. Ask me any question at all about Power Rangers, and you get a blank slate. Most recently, I did see the at the dentist office. Fittingly, I watched the new Power Rangers movie, or newest, I guess.
Yeah, just
the American try.
yeah, from this 2017, which was released.
Yeah.
Almost less than a week away from Kong Skull Island. I haven't seen that one actually. Is it any good or because I don't know, I hear conflicting reports. Some people say it's the best of the 3 Power Ranger movies. Other people says it's.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
It's easily the best of the 3, but it's like. It's merely okay.
Mm-hmm.
The main problem from that movie is that it lacks a sense of identity to where you're not going to remember this movie. To quote to use a quote from Jeremy Johns, you're not going to remember it in T-1 week.
Yeah, because a lot of the criticisms I heard about that film is it just tries way too hard to ape the angsty teen aesthetics that was popular for a hot minute with the Hunger Games and Twilight and whatnot. So
and on top of that, it's just like it's trying to ape everything. It's trying to ape Transformers. It's trying to ape the Bay Turtles. It's going to try to ape fucking Twilight. It's trying to ape any gritty, dark superhero movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's like all these things, and it just kind of comes off as like a very generic product that as you can tell, nobody talks about these days.
Yeah.
And
Even like a, what was it, Saban or no, Hasbro's going to make their own Power Rangers movie. That's not going to be a sequel to this one.
And with Flapjack and damn it, never mind. Go on, Win. What were you gonna say?
It's Blackjack and hookers.
I was gonna say that it just kind of goes to show edgier does not mean better.
That is a good point. So now getting back to the '95 movie, which shows that maybe edgier is sometimes better.
Yeah.
Well,
we'll see. Revisit. Yeah, we're revisiting a rainbow-colored turkey tonight, so that's either going to be a good thing or a bad thing. So what happened was, because of the extreme success that Power Rangers initially had, they immediately greenlight this movie with a set premiere date. And to show how fast this movie began production, as opposed to how long it took within production, the actors who were hired to replace the red, yellow, and black Rangers, the minute they were hired to replace the previous actors, they were told, oh, in less than 2 months, if not less, even shorter than that, you're going to Australia to film the movie. So yeah, it's, and like Andres says, this movie was literally made between the second and third season. Of course, true to the Hollywood mantra.
No, it was released the set between the second and third season.
Okay.
So this might have been made perhaps simultaneously during season 2.
Yeah. So now, of course, the sad thing is the television show itself was a non-union production, so it was done really quickly and under not the best circumstances. I'll just say. Like, literally, They were filming like 4 episodes a week, and that's a lot for American television. Granted, of course, it could get away with that because, half the show was already made in Japan. No? Okay. Damn it, I tried playing the drum beat again, but then the opera thing came up again, so... Anyways. But what was funny was that when they finally went to actually do an official big-budget Hollywood production out of country for Australian tax reasons, the old mantra of Hollywood came sneaking in, hurry up and wait. And what was supposed to be a 3-month shoot actually ended up being almost a very long time, like maybe 6 months altogether. So much so that the actors who play Bulk and Skull have a lot of wonderful memories of basically living in Australia for a while, because despite being on the cast list and being brought over there, they were barely in the movie and they barely worked, to such a point that after a while their daily teasings of the other castmates got tiresome, and they both decided to take a road trip into the outback, and we never saw Bulk and Skull again. They disappeared, and
they disappeared into the land down under.
Yes, exactly. Cut to the music of them playing with a kangaroo. So in the land down under. All right.
I said, "Do you speak my language?" He just smiled and gave me a Vegemite sandwich.
Oi, Vegemite! I can't do an Australian accent. So, okay, damn it, where was I? Oh yeah. So the movie was eventually made, but it was a production that was done on a relatively low budget for a Hollywood movie, about $20 million. Thankfully, the production crew, they did what you're always supposed to do on a low budget movie. They planned like crazy beforehand, and but that also meant a lot of their original plans were discarded. We'll discuss it through the commentary itself. But yeah. But yeah,
like we're ever gonna have anything of substance to say during this movie.
Oh God, what have I done? This is so sad. This is so sad. It's gonna make me mad. I'm sorry, I can't do a pumpkin rapper impression. So.
That was almost as good as your Australian accent, though.
Oy vey.
Yeah, that's what they sound like.
Yeah, that's exactly what they sound like.
Crikey, oy vey.
It's so hot. It's so hot here. Why did we decide to move to this fucking island?
Bowie in space. All right, so, but yeah, hold on, what do we got here? We got some comments. Warrior King says, They should have just made up a movie exclusive team of Power Rangers instead of trying to reboot the original team with the 2017 film. I don't know. I hated a replacement Ranger trio as a kid. Couldn't believe the time that Jason, Zach, and Trina were gone. That's because they asked for real money. And I got over it, obviously, and I don't hate them anymore, but I still don't find them as interesting or fun to watch as their predecessors. And that is true. It's especially after 65 episodes, you immediately have to say goodbye to the cast. I don't know. What am I saying? It's Power Rangers.
And the thing is, it's like my always biggest issues with I guess I'll go into it when we talk about the movie itself. But I guess one thing I want to bring up before watching the movie is that the weirdest thing I find about this movie, beside the fact that it exists, is that it acts as a sort of sequel to season 2, while at the same time a pseudo soft reboot of the series. Because officially, this movie takes place out of continuity. But yes. I find it so strange that they would make an out-of-continuity movie, but it still features the same cast, the same costume, practically everything. It makes a lot of unnecessary changes. While it's weird because this is the movie. It's introducing the Ninja Zords, which was I guess meant to be a preview for the introduction of the Ninja Zords in season 3. But yet they get the Ninja Zords in a completely different way in season 3. So I'm like, what's the point of having two different takes on the same story idea? Wouldn't that be confusing for children?
Yeah, because in the movie, you get a warrior queen introducing them to the Ninja Zords. In Power Rangers, we get Ninjor.
We had Ninjor, who sounds like Marvin the Martian. Isn't that fabulous?
Evil makes me so very angry. Where in Kaku Ranger, he's more of a hot-headed character.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Where's the Megazord? There's supposed to be a giant, earth-shattering Megazord.
Yeah, it's because he's just like the pure all-American hero stereotype in Power Rangers, where in Kaku Ranger, as I said, he's actually very hot-headed and short-tempered.
Yeah, so much so that he only transforms into a secondary Samurai Man form whenever the yokai monsters of that series call him a novice, which I think is like the most insulting.
That makes me very angry.
Novice? You just pissed me off!
Right.
Nani?
Good old Ninjor / Ninja Man, who it took him like a good 10 to 20 years for him to come back and get, Gokai Ranger, the space pirate show. Meanwhile, Brayton just is like, what the hell are you three talking about?
I
don't even have an opinion.
I just want to read a comment from Steve, aka Winter Gaia, who's in the comments.
Hey, Winter Gaia.
He mentioned he says Die Ranger, but I'm sure he meant Kaku Ranger. How else are they going to jump ship to the Kaku Ranger toys? We got to sell those toys.
Yeah,
I guess it does make sense. Like they want to introduce the Ninja Zord. They want to introduce the Ninja Zords sooner than later, rather than later. So I guess this is easily meant to be like a preview of the ninja stuff. I just still think the execution is very confusing because for me, as a kid in the night who was born and grew up in the 90s, I missed out on the season premiere of season 3. So I genuinely thought the movie was meant to be a proper explanation for how they got the Ninja Zords in the actual series.
Yeah. Okay. Well, here's the thing.
I had no idea that Ninjor was even a thing.
Right. Yeah, it's funny how, in the movie, Ninjor looks like a woman in a bikini. I don't know how that changed. That's weird. Anyways, but here's the thing. We're older now. We live in an age where we can wrap our heads around the concepts of reboots and alternate continuities or out of continuity. But it's back then, though, movie critics and general audiences alike had no idea what that concept was unless you outright stated remake. So a movie like this utterly would confuse the hell out of fans. I remember my brother Miguel despised this movie completely simply because it didn't line up with the television series itself. Thankfully, Miguel.
Then he probably is going to hate he probably grew up hating the Dragon Ball movies.
Okay, well,
in fact, that's exactly what this is. This is like the Power Ranger equivalent of a Dragon Ball movie. Again, Dragon Ball takes like the same voice actors, the same designs, the same everything, pretends to be in continuity with the show, even though there's no way it could fit in the show.
Yeah. Although thankfully, unlike a lot of those movie spin-offs for the various anime shows and even the Japanese superhero shows that we know, they obviously added some real level of ambition to the production of this that we'll get into while we watch it. So it's not a complete one-off. It's not like, say, the Die Ranger movie with the card-based Duke of Cards monster, where it's just a glorified episode of the series itself. So much so that a lot of the spin-off movies of Super Sentai shows easily do fit within the continuity of the show. That might sound great, but that also shows that, it's a complete lack of ambition or anything unique. But then again, isn't that always the iffy nature of making any movies based on a currently running television show? It's like, I think the Simpsons movie said it best in its opening. It's like you'd have to be a sucker to see something you could find free on television. And with that says, that's exactly the reason why my parents never took us to see the movie in theaters, and we had to wait for the VHS release. So,
like me. Then again, I was 3 years old, and no, was I? Yeah, I was 3 years old when the movie came out, so I probably wouldn't have been too cognizant or aware to say, "Mommy, take me to Power Rangers."
No. I don't like Power Rangers. I don't know why your mother sounds like I don't know, Joan Baker.
You've met my mother. She's a saint.
Yeah, she is. Her voice is more like this. No, you're not going to. Seem much lighter in tone. So, anyways.
When did Andres' mother turn into an eldritch horror?
Andres, are you the son of Bakrug the water lizard?
Shh.
Okay. Secrets. Anyways.
Also, Lydia commented when she said, fun fact, the woman in the bikini was supposed to be Mariska Hargitay. She auditioned for the role.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I would have loved to see Detective Benson in that movie.
Yeah, we'll get to Darcia, or I wrote Dulcia. Dulcia. I hope that's not a play on the word dull, because that would be pretty insulting to the exposition wise.
I'm sure they just put a bunch of syllables together to make it sound as alien sounding as possible.
Yeah, that's one thing about Power Rangers I can't get behind. I know Brayson's gonna laugh his head off at the hypocrisy I'm about to share, but the overuse of pun-based names in the series. So I don't know, but Crooked Lord is here. The only thing mythical about Andres is that he lives in a made-up country.
That's right. He doesn't believe Japan exists.
Right. Then what is Crooked Lord been ripping off for the last 80 years? I ask you, sir. So, anyways, but no. To get back to the fact that nobody could wrap their heads around the idea of alternate continuities back in the 90s. Infamously, Roger Ebert, when he reviewed Gamera Guardian the Universe, the majority of his review was him just utterly confused at the fact on why the Japanese military is fighting a monster who's been the friend of humanity in the previous 8 movies. Yeah, I know, and it's also similar to like when I introduce Godzilla movies to friends and family. And despite how much I tell them, okay, this is its own standalone story, it's not connected to any of the other Godzilla movies, and then after an hour-long thesis about, the Millennium series and why it was kind of a one-off anthology, is like, okay, you ready to watch the movie? Sure, we watched GMK. Why would Godzilla be so evil? Isn't he friends with Jet Jaguar? Guys! Oh God! It's.
But wait. Lydia said in the comments, "Women in bikinis doesn't sell toys." I think Japan would like to have have a word with you.
And the various figurines I've seen in anime shops.
Yeah.
Not knocking it, because I actually had a couple in my old place.
Okay.
Don't judge me.
We all have.
It was a really awesome Ame comic series figurine of Power Girl, and it looked really, really badass, because there was a run around the time of the New 52 run where some artists came together and collaborated in an anthology doing kind of an anime-esque Justice League series with a lot of the women in the DC universe.
Yeah,
it was pretty
Yeah, didn't they do like Harley Quinn, Poison Ivy, Catwoman, Supergirl, all those characters?
Yeah, and the antagonist was the Joker's daughter, Duella Dent.
Okay. Okay, I wanted to ask you what the hell is up with the Joker and Two-Face sharing a daughter, but we're already dealing with confusing bullshit as it is.
We'll go through that explanation if we ever review anything DC Comics related, because this is all about Power Rangers.
Yes. So, and speaking of which, Brayton, as our resident Power Ranger expert, do you have anything else to shed the light of this production?
Here you go. This is my comment on the production. I just sent it in the chat.
Hold on, Oh God, this better be a short video.
That pretty much sums it up.
Yeah, that was a 5-minute scream from The Godfather 3.
And here I was expecting the baby elephant walk.
Yeah.
Fun fact, now I may be mistaken. Andres, didn't you do a commentary over this already? With
Yes, I did.
With David and the Beast of Yucca Flats?
Yeah. Yes, I did.
Yeah.
Wait, why didn't you tell me beforehand? Now I feel like a copycat. Which is probably a monster from Power Rangers now.
Because the more said about this movie, well, I don't know about that. But it's been 16 hours and 15 days since Andres did that commentary.
Right. 16.
Yeah,
Are you serious?
I'm looking at the video now, and yeah, we recorded it on October 18th, 2014. So we are nearly 6 years away from the last time I ever saw this movie.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah.
6 years is better.
So
than
every
5
6 years he has to do a commentary.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. So everyone join us 6 years from now. We got 13 people watching. What a lucky, fortunate number. So, all right, everybody. We will actually be starting the movie pretty soon, but I do want to. Okay, so we know what Brayton's experience with this movie is because his brother almost died doing a backflip.
Well, he didn't. Well, that wasn't because of the movie. That was just because of the Power Ranger fandom that consumed my eldest brother in the mid '90s.
Oh my! I hope he grew out of it. Unlike certain people I'm looking at in the mirror right now.
Yes, he grew out of it.
Okay,
but I don't know. My personal own experience watching this thing. I have zero connection to the original show. Any buy into the show that I have or any understanding of it comes from this movie. It's not like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle thing where I watched the movies in the 90s and was familiar with the cartoon. Pretty much everything you're saying is kind of, otherworldly to me at this point because this movie encapsulates any kind of understanding of the show that I have. And I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, or if it's if this is a accessible encapsulation of the true meaning of the Power Rangers or not, as an outsider.
Yeah,
kinda.
Well, thankfully, they pretty much explain a lot of what's going on with. It's self-contained enough where you're not utterly confused. It's not like being dropped in the middle of Gokaiger versus Space Sheriff Gavon, where it's like they assume that you know exactly what the hell's going on and that you just go from there, when in reality you're dealing with two completely separate franchises. And this is even confusing for Japanese audiences because there hasn't been a Space Sheriff Gavon show for 50 years. Now I'm going to tell you, each and every one of you, the long history of the Space Sheriff franchise.
Space Ferret.
Space Ferret. No, I'm just kidding. But there's a lot, what is it? A good example would be maybe the animated Justice League show. We nerds who have some experience with these characters, we can easily get into the first episode. But if you're a regular person who has no knowledge of anything related to the comic book history of comic books, then you're wondering why the hell is a Martian and a Hawk Woman hanging out with Wonder Woman,
Yeah, it also helps that I was maybe 4 when I originally saw this, so I was sort of half paying attention to it, and I'm like, hey, anything with colors and loud noises, I'll look at the TV while it's happening occasionally.
I hate to ask, but isn't that the history of everybody who got into Power Rangers? Colors and loud noises.
Probably.
I can attest to that.
Right.
But so yeah, I wasn't really. My analytical skills weren't firing, or analytical what is happening it wasn't firing at the point. I just sort of accepted what was ever on screen.
Mm-hmm.
And so yeah, I didn't have. I'm sure if I had never seen this movie before and this was my first time ever seeing it tonight, I'd be horribly depressed 5 minutes in and silent for the rest of the stream. But no, I am that's my history with it. So I didn't have any connection to it. Wasn't engrossed in the fandom before I saw this. So yeah, this is my first exposure. Kind of like Andres agreeing to do the My Little Pony review, and that being his first exposure to that show. This is sort of similar with me.
I don't regret being a Friendship is Magic fan, but I do regret putting Andres in that unfortunate situation. It's like, let's watch the MLP movie. It's the thankfully
Friendship is magic. Yeah, right. Ask me that after this stream. Friendship is black magic concocted by an evil wizard in an oil drum.
How did you know, Brayton? How did you know? Okay, so now I was originally going to ask Wynn her opinion before we went to Brayton, but now that you're done talking...
Now that I had to make it all about myself.
You dandy Dimetrodon. So, Wynn, what's your experience with the Power Ranger franchise in this movie, if any?
Well, I kind of stumbled onto the franchise when I was a little kid. Had a shitty day at school because kids are assholes. I decided to kind of unwind, relieve some stress, watch a little TV before I had to sit down and do my homework, and I'm kind of watching the last 15 minutes of this particular Power Ranger episode. I think it was the King Sphinx one, and I'm all, okay, this actually isn't too bad. I'll probably give another couple of watches of a couple more episodes, and like 3 episodes later, I found myself instantly hooked. And with the movie, I had to wait till it came to VHS, not because of money issues, but unfortunately, for some strange reason, in my mom's mind, I was allegedly too old for the franchise, and I'm thinking, wait, how the hell am I too old? I'm 9!
I honestly would be surprised if she said, because, given that this was the 90s, I'm surprised that, your mom didn't say something along the lines of, oh, Power Rangers is a boys thing. Go play with your Barbies or whatever.
No, I will at least say this. My mom was a little on the rough and tumble side in her childhood. She was a bit of a tomboy herself in some aspects. A lot of girly elements, but in terms of toys, she knew a lot of stuff could be pretty boring to us. I had Barbies, yes, but there was also a compromise in that I also had a shit ton of dinosaurs.
Cool. All right, then.
Yeah. Well, that's another thing about Power Rangers' surprise success. Had they picked any other Super Sentai series, I think it would have failed in the right there and then. But because it was a show that had robot dinosaurs in it, live-action robot dinosaurs, I think that instantly gave it an edge. And this was like shortly after the success of Jurassic Park. So by choosing Zoo Ranger as the series of choice to adapt Power Rangers, I think that was one of the big hooks that got a lot of kids into it. Because I know when I was a kid, when I saw like basically a red-colored Mechagodzilla come out of Volcano in the commercials, it's like, I must watch!
Yeah, that was definitely what attracted me to Power Rangers.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, that little talk faded quickly, so I ended up getting a shit ton of Power Ranger merch for my birthday the following year, and when Christmas hit, I got the VHS, so that made me happy.
Oh my god!
I had quite a bit of Power Ranger figures. My mom found some pink Power Ranger pajamas for me.
Nice.
And I even had a couple of Barbie dolls of Kimberly and Trini.
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit, that's genius, actually, from a marketing standpoint.
Yeah, I thought it was badass. I had a good ton of figures, but seeing that they had these dolls, I'm all, oh my god, this is awesome. They give me my merch.
Now, did they ever made a Green Ranger Ken doll?
I was gonna say,
because if not, I would have been disappointed.
I was gonna say, I don't know, but I wish. If they did, that would have been pretty awesome, because Kimberly was actually my favorite growing up, to the point where my grandpa had gotten me a pink ranger costume to wear for Halloween.
Wait.
Oh, nice.
I was just in hog heaven. I did not want to take that thing off like any other just recently turned 10-year-old.
Right, hog heaven or pudgy pig purgatory.
No, No.
Don't ruin this for her, Ralph.
Sorry.
It'll make me sick Navi on you.
Oh, okay. No Navi. And don't worry, I got Munch. He'll kill me for you. So, you know, it's funny you should. It's great to hear you dressed up as a Power Ranger character for Halloween because I have a bit of a Power Ranger Halloween experience myself.
I always wanted a Rita Repulsa costume.
No, I wasn't that bold. But okay, so obviously one of the big appeals for Power Rangers for me was the monsters.
He wanted to be Babu.
Huh?
Clearly he wanted to be Squatter Babu.
Shut up. If anyone's a squat around here, it's you, buddy. I've seen you without the human-colored mask on. I'm sorry.
Certain other Power Rangers series came out. We all know he wanted to be Mad Mike the Pizza Dude.
You know, it's okay, but seriously, during the second season, and this was probably one of the last years where I was just young enough to still go trick-or-treating, but I was about to reach a teenagehood. I decided, since a lot of the monsters in the second season of Power Rangers were like cosplay easy or cosplay accessible, with them just being these weird furniture-headed monsters wearing regular clothes, you know, the whole Gorma monster thing from Die Ranger, I decided to go as the lesser-known Power Ranger monster Vase Face, a monster who supposedly has a vase for a face, but it's really based on the Japanese Hinawa. I'm probably saying that wrong. Mud statues of ancient Japan. But the character looks so simple that I actually made a vase face costume using like cardboard and white sweaters and other objects we had around the house, and it looked fairly good for what it was. So much, but then again, it was a character that was so obscure that nobody knew what the hell I was except for a bunch of little kids, so I could hear whispering behind me going like, Isn't that the Vase Face from that episode of Power Rangers? I think it is. It's the Vase Face. So yeah, I actually dressed up as a Power Ranger monster for one of the last trick-or-treating years of Halloween. But here's the thing: every time Power Morphicon comes around, I always have that little inkling in the back of my mind. There are so many Power Ranger monsters that could easily be recreated in cosplay form that I could. It's like, should I try to go there? But then again, it's like, as much as I get a kind of guilty pleasure out of this whole franchise because of the monsters of the week, I hate to say it, a lot of Power Ranger fans barely remember any of these characters outside Pudgy Pig or Pumpkin Rapper. Yeah, exactly. Or Goldar or any of the main villains, given what popular season there is. But yeah, I don't know.
And this is who he I just found a picture of Vase Face, so I just shared it with all of you guys on Skype.
Yeah.
Well, if you felt like being an utter and complete gremlin and scare the masses with the nightmare fuel, you could always be the unintended monster-looking Mr. Tickle Sneezer. Which I find funny. He wasn't really a monster of the week in Zyuranger or
he better not be a one-off
or
with a
in
name
Power
like that.
Rangers, because he was just like this troll from Japanese lore.
Yeah. Look. Okay, quick explanation of who Mr.
Is that one of your? Did you name one of your cats that, Raph? Mr. Tickle Sneezer?
No.
No explanations. No, move on.
Fine. Okay.
Oh God.
Yeah, we'll save Mr. Tickle Sneezer for the Tickle Sneezer live cast. But yeah, other than that, yeah, I dressed up as Vase Face for a year, and I'm gonna hold off on changing images because there are some deleted images that I do want to share eventually. But for the most part, we're sticking to this one title card. And as you can see, we're gonna wait till June 30th of next year to start the movie watch. No, we'll start pretty soon.
I have my VHS tape if you'd like me to read the sacred back of the box.
Yes, Brayton, why not you do that?
Go ahead. Yes.
Okay. My old torn edges VHS tape from 1995. On the back it says, "You ooze, you lose. Power up with 6 incredible teams who outmaneuver and defeat evil everywhere as the mighty Morphin Power Rangers. But this time, the Power Rangers may have met their match when they face off with the most sinister monster the galaxy has ever seen, Ivan Ooze. Unleashed upon the good citizens of Angel Grove after 6,000 years of imprisonment, Ivan Ooze stops the Power Rangers and their leader Zordon... strips the Power Rangers, and their leader Zordon of their powers. Now the Power Rangers must journey to a distant planet to learn the secrets of the ancient Ninjetti?
Yes.
Only then will they be... there's a Yeti in my Ninjetti. Only then will they become empowered with a force strong enough to restore their morphing abilities and defeat the evil Ivan Ooze. Join the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers and their new Ninja Megazord as they fight to save Angel Grove and the world from the forces of evil. There you go. I kind of butchered that, but yeah.
I forgot how much that the back of VHS tapes would spoil the entire movie.
Oh yeah. There you have it.
Also, I love how it's like let's explore to a brand new alien planet in New Zealand.
Actually, the movie was filmed in Australia, although all the...
In Australia?
Yeah. With a... Yes, act like you didn't.
You want to do the accent again, Raph?
Sure.
Oi, on the Barbie, the hoe.
Right. Oh, no, the Power Rangers are destroying my giant microwave. Oh,
Mamma mia!
God damn it.
Right. Your Ranger's going to taste good in my giant oven pizza. I could go as Mad Mike and everyone would recognize me, but then that costume's a little too elaborate to do as on the cheap. So sadly, the most affordable.
Unless you were to just do makeup for the face.
That would be disturbing as hell, Andres.
Exactly.
Yeah, no. And sadly, the only Power Ranger monster that would be ridiculously easy to do without going to like the really cheapy, crappy ones like the Wizard of Darkness or the Giant Rats, which we'll discuss as we watch the movie.
Can't the Crimson Weirdo just be a Power Ranger monster? Doesn't he seem like he'd fit right in?
Just glue a giant eyeball to my forehead. It's like, yes, sure. You Rangers have traveled into my trap.
You're essentially already dressed like the main villain from Wild Force.
I met the actor who played the main villain in Wild Force. He's pretty cool, other than the weird accent. So
the weird Australian accent.
Yeah, did he sound like God,
sorry,
the dog period in my shoe. It's in the monsters and the ladies.
I didn't know the Nutty Professor was one of a Power Ranger villain. I know he was a Sailor Moon villain once. Nothing.
Deke, the darker days.
How
How
lucky were we that Power Rangers wasn't picked up by Deke? Or else we would have ended up with something more pathetic than Superhuman Samurai Cyber Squad. Instead of them leaving the juice bar, they live in the juice bar and they just point out the window whenever a monster shows up.
Although, just imagine if, like, by some happenstance, Saban ended up getting the rights to localize the live-action Sailor Moon series.
Oh, God. I still remember that premiere tape that was so bad.
Sailor Moon!
Oh, God. What was it?
Why do you have to remind me, Anjas? What have I done to you for you to torture me this way?
Honestly, I wasn't referring to that live-action Sailor Moon.
Oh, you were talking about Toei's attempt to do Sailor Moon as a tokusatsu series.
Oh, yeah, the Super Sentai series. I've actually seen that. It was kind of charming in its own little low-budget way, but I would have actually, if it were a different dub company, I definitely would have probably looked over it. Like maybe if Viz dubbed over it or something, but if it were Deke or Saban, no, stay the fuck away from more of my childhood.
My goodness. Okay, so now before we head on to the movie, can we briefly discuss the current state of Power Rangers and why we're all kind of thankfully out of it, like former drug addicts?
it's not that it's bad, I would say. Like Megaforce, Super Megaforce, that was bad.
Yeah.
But I feel like a lot of modern Power Rangers, just from what little I've seen, whether it's like from watching a few episodes of the latest series or just by watching Linkara's History of Power Rangers, just everything I've seen so far just feels very underwhelming or lacking ambition.
Mm-hmm.
Where, like, personally, I feel like the standards for storytelling, especially in children's media, has exceeded so high in a post Avatar The Last Airbender world that it's like, especially like after looking at the Boom comics myself, it's like I want the Boom comics. I want that level of storytelling.
Yeah.
But like from what I see here, it just feels like very how would I call it? Not half-assed. What is the phrase you would say where it's like, by the numbers, or like phoned in? It feels very phoned in. Like they're going through the basics.
I would add phoned in for preschoolers in some cases. Like that's how I felt about Power Rangers Super Megaforce. Or
I gotta learn about responsibility. Like my dad says, oh, I'm fighting a monster, and through this monster I learn the true meaning of responsibility. You know, that kind of stuff.
Right.
Very on the nose stuff where they kind of like explain everything to you as slowly as possible.
Yeah.
But it's like, I know like people would laugh when they're like, oh, why would you ever expect any like Avatar levels of storytelling? It's Power Rangers. But that's the thing. I hate the fact that people would need to say, oh, it's Power Rangers. What do you expect? Because like there's, I guess with the exception of a couple seasons, it's never the storytelling in Power Rangers, the characters, writing, what have you, has never been like, it's been good in cases, maybe great, but never like superb.
Yeah, like the
and so like I just kind of I've wanted the franchise to evolve as time went on, but I guess like especially thanks to Saban, that they preferred to just like revel in the past and just go through like the laziest route possible in terms of making a modern series.
You got a shit ton of cartoons on Netflix where the writing is amazing. She-Ra reboot, Chef's Kiss. I have to thank Raph because Castlevania. I have to thank Raph because Kipo is actually really heckin' good.
Oh, I'm so glad you discovered Kipo.
I'm loving me some Troll Hunters. It's like most of the animation stuff on Netflix is on point. The writing is fantastic. Especially the Dragon Prince, who also worked on Avatar.
I so want to see the next season of Dragon Prince, especially after that unlikely cliffhanger we were left on. Where
the first two seasons of Voltron, the first two seasons of Voltron especially as well.
So let's not mention that new Jurassic Park show. I have mixed feelings about that.
I haven't seen it yet.
Okay. It's better than we expected it to be, but it's still what we expected it to be. But getting
Power Rangers.
Yeah. No, I don't know. The thing with Power Rangers though, like even at its best, which would like I think two of the best seasons of Power Rangers that's ever been has been Power Rangers Time Force and Power Rangers RPM. Even at its very best, it still suffered from a lot of childish and silly decisions. And although a lot of the American writers and production crews always blame the Super Sentai footage for some of the creative decisions in the American adaptations, it's also the fault of the American adaptations. Like in Power Rangers RPM, one of the characters has the ability to make magical shadow puppets. That's all on you, America. It's like this is supposed to be a tale about a post-apocalyptic civilization, and here you have like some bizarre shadow puppet jokes going on. So, but then on the other hand, I do agree that even knowing Boom Studios was doing really good with their Power Ranger comics, and often the Power Ranger comics have been a source of embarrassment if you know the history of the previous comics, especially during the brief time when they were making comics based on Super Megaforce. I have to say, though, I think the Boom Comics goes a little too serious. Like, it feels too much like it doesn't, like, thankfully it's not like that Power/Ranger fan film, but it does feel like it's like they kind of abandoned the more colorful fantasy elements of the original show just to focus on kind of more standard superhero fare with the Power Ranger shows. And it's the reason why we get an evil Tommy, but not much in the way of variety as far as the villains go. And I don't know, I
feel like it's most likely probably their attempt at trying to do what the MCU does, where they put more emphasis on character development, less so on the villains.
Yeah, well, to be fair, Power Rangers, like, the only good actors were the villains for like a good 3 seasons when it started. But at the same time, yeah, it does feel though like a lot of superhero media where, I don't know, let's not like, who wants to deal with the adventures and the fantasy elements when we can just see the heroes goofing off? And that's it's like,
isn't that what the entire second series was? Go Power Rangers from Boom. It was all about more of their personal lives, like a teen drama.
I think so. I don't know. I'm not too familiar with Go Power Rangers. I keep hearing conflicting reports. Some people say that it's more about the teen drama. Other people say it's more lighthearted compared to the main Power Ranger series. But yeah, it would be nice to see like a good intelligent mix of like the silly and the serious. And I don't think Power Rangers have ever truly gotten there, other than some really good snippets from the various seasons, the comic books, and even scenes from the various movies. But it's like, and of course, let's not get started on Super Sentai. Let's just face facts. It's toyetic preschool shows. Even when you have like a really good writer behind the season, like with Go Kaiju, it doesn't really help. I don't know. Do you want to watch this damn thing?
You're the one you're pushing this conversation.
I know. So, oh god. So, any final words?
No, let's just get on with it.
Right.
Yeah. I like Power Rangers conceptually. It's got everything I could hope for: robots, monsters, superheroes. I just wish that it was more consistent.
Yeah, exactly.
Wise.
All right.
But I'll always, as imperfect as imperfect as fuck as it is, I'll always have my nostalgic love for Mighty Morphin.
Yeah, and whereas I have gotten so many awesome monsters from this franchise, and ones that I still enjoy to this day, even knowing that I'm more or less abandoned the franchise. Very similar to you, though. You probably got tons of really cool robots out of it too, from all the watching.
Oh fuck yeah!
So Brayton, on the other hand,
I'm playing Frogger.
Frogger or Terror Toader?
No.
Oh god.
Let's not talk about the Terror Toad. We'll have an uncomfortable conversation about the ethics of giant toads eating people. Okay, everybody, there's the movie link from hold on, Warrior King. Oh yes, Tim Curry is amazing as Kilo Khan, one of my fave 90 villains ever.
Foolish meat thing.
What's the magic word? No. Good, you are learning. Tim Curry is great in almost anything, but Tim Curry voicing an Ultraman monster from the Tron universe it's like a triple threat there. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, I just shared the movie link from Archive.
Paul Freeman is good in anything, Raph, such as this movie.
Oh yeah, Paul Freeman isn't. Yeah, we'll talk.
Paul Freeman is Ivan Ooze, aka Belloc, fucking Belloc from Indiana Jones.
Yes.
It took me ages to realize that.
Yeah, what's funny about the actor who plays Ivan Ooze? This is really, as we'll see, this movie is really just an excuse for Paul Freeman to be just go crazy, like
to Emperor Palpatine the hell out of this movie.
Yes.
Yeah, what's the name of the actor who played Emperor Palpatine?
Ian McDermott?
If Ian McDermott and Jim Carrey had a baby, it'd be Paul Freeman in this movie.
Yeah.
Oh,
any excuse to wear fancy B. Arthur robes and shoot lightning out of your fingers.
Right. But we'll talk more.
But another quack at it.
Yeah.
Dorothy in the streets, Blanche in the sheets.
Oh my god.
When?
Someone had to do it because you mentioned B. Arthur.
Right.
You put this upon yourself.
One more round, friends.
Just one more morph, my friend.
Right.
Dun 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 dun. No.
Okay, so.
All right, let's go.
Okay, we'll go in a minute. I just got to turn on. What I've done in the past, which has been a mistake, is actually play the movie on a low volume on the OBS, and it actually sounds. And we've gotten some copyright strikes with our King Kong commentary, or Kongmentary, as we should keep that pun up. So thankfully, I have a DVD version of the movie in the television that will play in the background. Even knowing that there's
you do know that there's a HBO logo at the beginning of this Internet Archive version, right?
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's crystal clear, widescreen. It's beautiful.
Yeah, but I do mean like it's going to be out of sync if you start the movie at the same time we start the Internet Archive version.
Oh no, don't worry. I linked it to such a point that I know exactly where to start the DVD version.
All right.
Yeah, don't worry about me. I'm a big boy, but Johnny.
Raph, I constantly worry about you.
You worry about everyone as I worry about everyone. Okay, so... Okay, everybody, we shared the link in the chat section. So I'm not going to...
And of course, the Chihuahua had to come out at this moment.
Yes, excuse me, I'm going to kick a little animal out, so talk amongst yourselves.
Good old Nippo.
So it's been about 6 weeks since 6 years since I probably last seen this movie. When was the last time any of you guys have saw this movie?
Honestly, I can't remember. It's been a long, long time.
Yeah, probably a little more than 6 years in full. Of course, I will watch any unrelated Ivan Ooze clip on YouTube whenever it pops up. But yeah, it's been a long time. But yeah, this copy of it looks really good. So maybe we'll see. Maybe the more flaws will be exposed with this higher resolution print. But
yeah, we'll see the smudges on the costumes. We'll see the strings and the wires.
Right, the posting notes on the CGI Zord. Get it done better. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, tonight we present our main event, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the movie from 1995.
Jesus Christ.
0-0. Ready when you are.
Okay.
Let's do this.
All right, so everyone...
To quote another horrible Saban project, let's kick it up!
Was that B. Arthur doing soccer?
That was the Digimon movie.
Oh, okay.
I think Saban...
Andres, you go sit in the corner and think about what you just done.
Hey, now, you're a rock star. Go get your game on.
That's technically part of the Digimon movie as well, yep.
Mm-hmm.
Digimon did it first before Shrek.
And here's
Think about it.
be off about it, because separate, seeing those movies in their original context weren't
Amazing.
bad, but just seeing the trilogy, those were great. But seeing them all mushed together, no. Fuck you, Saban. You go sit down and think about what you've done.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, for the next 90 minutes, Win will rant about Digimon.
Okay, let's just get the movie over with. I can rant about Digimon after this.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm at 0-0, like I said.
Likewise.
Okay, what about you, Brayton, the B-Ray Butcher?
Yeah.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, open the link or get your own personal DVD or Blu-ray copy out of this movie from the Criterion
We'll be
Collection.
Starting in 5 minutes.
No! Or how does Andres do it? Like, no!
Push the button!
Okay, so here we go. Power Rangers, a movie from 1995. A part of the decade of giant monster movies known as the 90s that I personally call the roller coaster of ruination. All right, so 3, 2, 1... play. All right, there's an
HBO. Hell besets on you.
Mild violence. Yeah.
Pretty goofy.
Here we go. There's a 20th Century logo. That's where I got the DVD set up, so the minute it fades, we'll be on sync. 20th Century Fox. Remember when they used to be a thing?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then again, it's their own fault for mismanagement and shitty Alien sequels. All right, we're linked. Here we go.
I think we've established that.
We're going.
Ooh.
Space, the final front. Oh, wait.
We go to the one
great.
place where Power Rangers don't exist.
Space!
Also, do people still think this is an enticing way to introduce the movie to viewers? I mean, unless you are Star Wars.
Do you think people who went to see this in theaters could read?
There was a lot of illiterate parents that day.
Oh.
All right, centuries ago. Oh, something. I don't know. I missed
Yeah.
my mark.
In space, no one can hear you establish the plot. So let's just see. This is unnecessary. I think.
Yeah, it's like the most lifeless reading, the most lifeless exposition since like Avatar, like or what rather the live action Last Airbender movie.
We don't talk about that movie.
No.
Ooh.
Skydivers with Corman Francis. Or Congo. You take your pick.
We got Steve Cardenas here.
They were so young and beautiful back then.
It's honestly it's crazy seeing them so young because now I see them on Instagram and Facebook because these actors, they love to interact with their fans. So I'm actually kind of used to seeing them older now. Unlike most people, they're shocked that they see the older actors. For me, it's weird seeing them young again.
Yeah.
And some of them haven't really aged all that much.
Or
Amy Jo Johnson still looks fantastic, and so does Johnny Young Bosch.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
So, fun fact: Jason Narvi, who plays Skull, he actually originally auditioned for the role of Billy until they decided to put him in another role because he had really good chemistry.
What did Bulk and Skull be like? Hey, why do you guys dress like Power Rangers right now?
Yeah, that's the one thing I can't stand about Power Rangers: the color coding clothes choices.
Like the clothes I can understand. This, however, they're wearing helmets for God's sakes. Also, I gotta say, this soundtrack super nostalgic.
Oh yeah.
If you thought the Power Ranger movie had a silly soundtrack,
this was 1995 in a nutshell.
It's all about the extreme sports.
Brayton, does it remind you of your days skydiving for charity?
That's a serious thing. They're skydiving for charity, and it. Outside of establishing the fact that they're a bunch of goody-good two-shoes and they love extreme sports, it has nothing to do with the entire movie.
Yeah. Say what you will about how unpopular and overlooked the later seasons of Power Rangers are. At least they try to go out of their way to give the characters distinct personalities or personality traits, as opposed to the five-headed, six-headed clones of Archie kids we got here.
Yeah, that's definitely like a big strike against the three new characters. Aisha, Rocky, and what was Johnny Young Bosch's? Adam.
Adam.
Yeah.
I will say the plus side of this is with him premiering, he was able to kick off his voice acting career.
Right.
That's true. Yeah. We wouldn't have had Ichigo or Bumblebee or Zero or New Broly.
Or Nero from Devil May Cry.
Yeah, Trigun. So Vash the Stampede.
Trigun, yes. Oh shit, he was Vash.
Yeah, he was Vash the Stampede, and he was Lelouch in Code Geass.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Welcome to America, Angel Grove. We are so totally in America. Ignore the Sky Needle of Australia, Sydney.
What's that say? The observatory? What? Who the fuck gives a shit about the observatory?
Yeah.
Seriously, that's what this.
Save the clock tower.
That's what this charity's about.
Hey kid, give a couple of Dragon Zords and save the clock tower, will ya?
Well, stargazing was pretty popular in the 90s, especially since people thought that comets weren't as common as we see them recently.
Yeah. In Likara's History of Power Rangers, he mentioned...
Now that series doesn't have a set schedule, correct?
Shut up! Ass. Anyways.
Power Rangers has no set schedule.
In Linkara's History of Power Rangers, he makes a hilarious joke about the overuse of charities and saving places through charities and Power Rangers. It makes him wonder if Angel Grove is like a dying city that's worse off than Detroit, especially before the giant monster attacks happened on a daily basis. And here's our Kenny.
It feels very Super Sentai-ish to have like a young kid tag along with the main team. And especially for like a movie, usually like whenever you have a tokusatsu superhero tie-in movie, usually the heroes don't get any character development because that all takes place in the series. So rather they tend to introduce a new character in the movie that gets the majority of the character development influenced by the heroes.
Right.
So it's like, it's kind of like they're sort of doing that with the kid, but he hardly matters in the movie. So it's like, not as all that relevant.
Yeah. And okay, after they parachute and skydive from a plane to Fort Charity, they rollerblade immediately.
Sports.
Oh my god.
Oh god, yeah. Just listening to this music alone is giving me all the nostalgic feels.
Yeah. You know, if this wasn't Sydney, Australia, you could mistake it for Vancouver, Canada. Meanwhile,
man, if only G-Fest had happened, we would have all been cruising around Chicago like this.
Yeah, there's Patrick Galvin in black. And,
right until we got to the stairs when we all fall over and bruise ourselves. And
I do gotta say, they probably... I want to assume that this was like 20th Century Fox that put in the money for them to have songs from the likes of Red Hot Chili Peppers and Aerosmith.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
So... speaking of which, the movie cost $20 million to make, and because that was a relatively low budget, the production crew was forced not to use as much CGI as they originally planned, which, as we'll see in the climax, thank God. So instead, in addition to extreme planning the whole production, they used a lot of old school special effects, and I think it works in the movie's benefit, because say what you will about this movie, I think it has a really good production visual style to it. So
I mean, it's not that cinematic looking, but it's kind of like a...
Competent? Extremely competent?
It's competent. It's definitely competent, yeah.
Yeah. So, and
John C. Reilly and Steve Coogan are going to play these people in a biopic one day.
that
Laurel and Farty.
oh, that would be awesome.
Funny enough, they've never... I don't think they've ever done a fart joke with these two.
Yeah,
Really?
yeah, we haven't... Yeah, there was never a fart joke in Power Rangers until, like, only a couple years ago with a really stupid episode of Power Rangers Ninja Steel, which was, like, less than 3 years ago, I think. That was the first time we got a fart joke in Power Rangers. And and they were making up for lost time. I won't go into
that's a lot of
details.
restraint.
They held it in quite a while.
Yeah. They did, although to be fair, Power Rangers in its third season featured the Sea Monster, which basically led to a bunch of Flasher jokes. So,
And then we got Big Burpa in Power Rangers Turbo.
Oh yeah, so she was way cooler in Car Ranger. Big Burpa! What are you doing here? You're gonna steal some bikes?
Oh my god.
You don't have to do it.
You didn't see anything.
That's right. She had a vampire accent and she burped. That was weird. Like the production. Oh, okay. The production design and the art direction of this movie was overseen by Greg Stearns and Carl Gibson, both of them local talent in Australia who are still working to this day. And I have to admit, the movie does have a very good visual look to it as far as the creature and prop designs go. More so than maybe the American side of the show ever was. And fun fact...
How long have they... I gotta say, how long have they been roller skating at this point?
Every time they're on screen, it's like a rock song.
But no...
Also, notice, the scene almost never changes unless all the Rangers are in the shot or have exited the shot.
But here's the fun fact. Carl Gibson, who was the art director on this movie, he went on to win an award for his work on Mad Max Fury Road.
Cool.
Yeah. So the show. So this movie wasn't a complete shit show for everybody.
But I'll definitely say this is a fantastic practical set here.
Yeah.
And I love that we get Richard Stephen Horvitz as Alpha still, who would go on to become Zim. And
really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Richard Stephen Horvitz was Daggett from Angry Beavers, Invader Zim. He was Chaos in the Skylanders franchise, and he also has a short appearance in Vivzy Pop's Hell of a Boss.
Right.
And the reason he was picked to play Alpha 5 was the original Mighty Morphin show was so low budget. They didn't want to spend extra money changing the voice actor's voice to sound more robotic, so they just got him because it sounded robotic naturally.
Right.
So that's both amazing and sad at the same time if you think about it. So, but yeah, this is, other than the questionable Alpha 5 suit, this is a really good Command Center set. So, and I really like how Zordon actually looks in this movie. So,
Yeah.
Who's a big bald floating head in a tube? Everyone knows it's Zordon.
who's that guy with the big head? Big head.
Oh, this is where all the villains enter, correct? This
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, police officers.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm sorry. That was a little dark.
Isn't that the janitor from Scrubs?
Oh, the biggest villain of all. But you can't blame him. His son was killed by the mad scientist principal on Clone High.
Oh, and here's Donald Trump's new Supreme Court pick.
Well, you know, how sad is it that Power Ranger monsters would make better politicians than what we got right now?
Yeah,
At least they
every
didn't
time they
Lord
enter a
Zed.
room, the party's here.
Yeah.
These are-
Lord Zed
You
would be
guys
more
are security guards. Where the fuck are your guns?
Oh, this always bugged me as a kid. Like, why would they replace Squat and Babu with this weird pig creature?
Pig. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Like, it's such a weird change for me personally.
yeah. Well, again, it's its own movie continuity. But again,
Exactly. But, like, why, though?
Yeah, Squat and Babu were not very popular characters to begin with, so when they decided to add a sidekick character, they went with an original character called Mordaunt. And according to outside media, Mordaunt is Goldar's third cousin, twice removed.
So, like, I'm assuming he's just meant to be,
He's
what do you
visiting.
call it?
He's
Like,
visiting
not
for
a
the summer.
conglomeration, an amalgamation of both characters.
Yeah, as well as probably some influence on Pudgy Pig. Like this is Squat, Babu, and Pudgy Pig merged into one character.
Okay.
And
Also-
there was,
Yeah, sorry,
and
go
there
ahead.
was probably, I was gonna say, and there was probably some confliction issues on and off of Toei, because you know how super stingy they can be with their IP.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and here comes the real hero
Also,
of the movie.
They were able to bring back the actress who played Rita Repulsa, but not Scorpina.
Yeah. Wait, are you talking about the This is not the Japanese actress. This is a completely
that's
new
not.
actress. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, Michio Sako, who played Rita Repulsa in Jew Ranger, she was off doing better things.
Okay.
So yeah, no,
And
in that case, why
I
couldn't they
believe
just
passed
get
away like
Scorpina
5 years
then?
ago.
yeah.
All right.
Here comes
But
Paul
yeah, why?
Frees.
Wait. Maybe Scorpina was already written out of the show at this point.
Yeah.
Did
Yeah.
they ever have an explanation for what happened to Scorpina in the show?
Not
Or did she-
not counting the recent comic books, evolving
No,
Tommy.
the original show.
No, she just vanished, and that's largely because there's no special reason for that. They just ran out of footage, and then they feel like hiring an extra actress to play another human character when they already had Rita Repulsa. So
Take that, Rise of Skywalker. Again, Ivan Ooze did it first.
so yeah, those are really good costumes,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
especially the makeup. Now Paul Frees, in an interview he did for
Paul Freeman.
damn it, Paul Freeman. Yeah, if this was Paul Frees, it'd be a skeleton with a cigarette in his mouth.
The Power Rangers.
Paul Freeman suffered big time for this. Even though he had a hell of a time filming this and he enjoyed the role immensely, he would have to wake up at 3 a.m. and be in the makeup chair for 3 to 4 hours before they started filming at 7 o'clock. And he was in this heavy makeup for 12 hours every day, not counting the hours it took to get him in there and out of there. And apparently the makeup adhesives had a negative effect with his skin that he eventually had to go to the hospital for a couple of days. But they couldn't remove the makeup right away. So in his words, everyone at the Australian hospital assumed that he was a horrific looking burn victim with purple skin.
Good lord, he's even in worse condition than we thought.
You're too kind. So, but other than that, Paul Frees has nothing but glowing memories about this convention. I met
Paul
him.
Frees was long dead
Yeah.
before this movie was filmed.
Paul Freeman.
Power Rangers, the toys. I hate toys.
Yep. And here we're going to see Ivan Ooze shapeshift. And in the original script, Ivan Ooze was supposed to be more. His ability to shapeshift was supposed to be more predominant in the movie, but it got cut.
I got to comment that midriff. I gotta say, You don't see that look you don't see that look a whole lot these days.
What, you mean Kimberly's midriff? Or are you talking about Ivan Ooze's midriff?
You're too kind.
That's not an
for us,
emblem
man.
on his chest. That's his belly button. So, holy crap, that is one hell of a midriff. Anyways,
See?
yeah, I met Paul Freeman briefly at Power Morphicon 2016.
Are you sure it wasn't the corpse of Paul Freeze?
No,
I dug him out of the ground
no, it was Paul
and
Freeman.
put a Uncle Sam hat on him, and he was the future president.
Yeah, but no, it was. I think he got a big kick when I mentioned one of his roles. I saw him in a Shakespeare adaptation. It's like, oh, thank God, somebody recognized me outside Power Rangers and Indiana Jones. And then, of course, and then I had to remind myself he was also the town's father/priest in Hot Fuzz. The one who the one who famously starts shooting at Simon Pegg and Nick Frost after saying, oh, fuck off, grasshopper.
Yeah.
Now, the Ivan Ooze henchman here was a last-minute addition in refilms because there was a lot of reshoots throughout this production. Originally, it was supposed to be a trio of giant rats, but the rat costumes were both really poor, really unconvincing, and really hard to move in to do the elaborate stunts they wanted to do. So what they did is they got some extra funding from Fox to make these brand new henchmen, the Ooze clones, I think they're called, or Oozemen, which I have to admit, they look fantastic. And if you want to know how bad those rat costumes were, just check out the 3-parter Return of the Green Ranger from the 2nd season of Power Rangers, because they reused the rat costumes, and oh my god, those are among the worst looking Power Ranger monsters ever. It's like the Disney walk-around characters are more convincing than those rat monsters.
And they really do look like Apocalypse from that X-Men movie that came out a few years ago.
Yeah. That's funny you should mention that, because that was the online meme when
I know, that's what I'm referencing,
yeah. It's like, when did Ivan Ooze come back? It's a shame Ivan Ooze is a much better character than movie Apocalypse.
I'm surprised you and him didn't just cackle in your Crimson Weirdo robes and him in his Ivan Ooze outfit. You seem like you'd be made for each other when you met him.
God, if there was ever a Mystery Science Theater convention, I would definitely go as the Crimson Weirdo, and probably like 2 people recognize me.
What were the little minions from the show, Putties?
The Putty Patrollers in the first
Putties,
season, yeah.
And these guys sort of fill that same sort of...
You gotta love all the unnecessary flipping.
Oh, yeah. And I know it's a joke, but they really do say "ia" a lot.
Yes, dude. It's the
Yeah.
Oh, to be fair, it is kind of necessary in martial arts. A lot of people feel that it brings out a bit more strength because you're working out your diaphragm.
Oh, it kind of like Bruce Lee whenever he
Because
goes,
I can say this as someone who's taken martial arts for 5 years.
Oh, God. That would explain all those opera singers just starting to kick the ass out of the orchestra with kung fu moves every time. It's like I went to see Gilbert and Gullifan's The Mikado, and then all of a sudden there was a kung fu fight, and I was like, "What's this about?" That sounded unintentionally racist. I'm sorry, guys.
It's okay. We're all being distracted by the amazing pension scene.
Coins to your face in 3D.
Dino Bakura.
Sassy
Now, which
Styracosaurus.
Rangers did they have to replace for this movie?
The red, yellow, and black one.
Yeah.
Because they didn't want their salary to be literal Power Ranger coins. So they said no.
You know, if you watch this on a 4D theater, those coins go straight
Sorry, I love that.
after they
Something
transform.
about that
The monsters
little
are
edit there,
gone. Yeah.
Where'd they go? Over there! And you see them running away into the fog.
That is like even knowing in Power Ranger and Super Sentai lore, they do explain that time speeds up in real life, and these transformation sequences are seen in a slowed down vision that only the audience can see. It's still funny when they do mention the monsters. Like, should we just jump them now while they're saying their names? No, wait. It'd be
It's
dishonest
Lone
of us.
Star.
Uh-oh, it's the Ghostbuster 2 slime. Oh, it's Ivan.
Oh God, I'm in the TARDIS.
You're right. It does look like
He looks
it.
excited to meet with Tom Baker again. I worked with him. Alpha, really? What were you hoping to accomplish, you stupid robot? Do we like Alpha? Is he bearable enough or no?
Well, I'm glad he really played it down here at least.
It is a subtle performance.
Yeah, he's not talking.
Yeah, that's whenever he's not doing that, I like him.
Paul Frees, in order to be Paul Frees in real life.
Freeman!
Damn it! Paul Freeman in real life is alive and not doing voice acting. He's a fairly short person, so in order to have him be tall compared to Alpha 5, he was wearing
heels.
Yeah, he is wearing giant boots underneath, like extended Frankenstein boots to make him taller. And apparently he twists his ankle at some point during the production.
Well, those platform boots can do a number on you.
Yeah.
I will say this is probably my favorite line from him.
Yeah.
All the things that I've missed.
Black Plague.
The Spanish Inquisition.
The Brady Bunch reunion.
Was it really that bad?
Yeah, was it a very Brady Christmas, whatever that was, where they all got back together 30 years later?
Yeah, it was. I remember it. It was just another one of those 1980s boring TV movies based on an old show, like The Return to Mayberry, the Andy Griffith show.
Gilligan's Island and the whatchamacallits.
Oh, the one where the Harlem Globetrotters
Globetrotters,
robots. Yeah. How is that boring?
So essentially, this was the time when the 60s died effectively.
Yeah.
Was that necessary?
Billy.
I remember this was the part where like the Red Ranger activated some weird like it was the Red and Yellow Rangers activated some weird helmet gimmick that never appeared in the show. So as a kid, I was like, this is another thing that like really like bugged the hell out of me.
Yeah.
As like a diehard Power Ranger fan, I was like, that's not in the show.
While I appreciate individual superpowers for various Rangers, even though I know there's been a big argument against that, still though, this is very nakedly obvious toy fodder. And yet, ironically, I don't think any merchandise was ever made of these different helmets.
The thing. Years down the line, when Saban started pumping out Mighty Morphin toys around 2010, and they made figures based off of the movies, they actually gave alternate helmets with these features.
Right.
Because at that point, now, Mighty Morphin nostalgia, like, Power Rangers went the route of Hasbro and Transformers, in which the first generation got more attention than anything else.
Yeah, you call that infrared? It's just regular red.
'Cause I'm bad. I'm bad.
Now I can't unsee it.
I know! It's exactly the same.
And Weird Al Yankovic shows up. I'm going to fight you, Power Rangers. Because I'm fat. I'm fat. You know it.
Oh.
Threw me through that cardboard wall.
Whoa.
Oh, blow me down.
See, he kicks him in slow motion, but he speaks in normal motion. It should have been back off.
And for 2 seconds, we had a bit of a crotch shot.
Spinning. He tried spinning. It was a good trick.
I wonder how Paul Freeman felt when he was on set and he saw a bunch of like 20 stunt actors with his face on it.
I wonder how Paul Frees felt when he was rolling in the grave, because this was filmed on his burial ground.
I got his name correct that last time, you jerk.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, what the...
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah, that is a good editing trick. Unfortunately, it's going to be followed up like a really terrible CGI shot when...
Ow! Navi!
Two of the Rangers kick a monster in the head. You'll see it pretty soon. It's like, yeah, when they hit them against the ground, they dissolve in like puddles of splashes of goo. That's really well done. But then you have this coming up. Wait, no.
Oh, the one with the big cartoony effect.
Yeah,
Oh, this
yeah.
is it. Right here.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Oh. Yeah.
That's so bad. It feels
That
like
did
this
not age well.
Yeah, it felt like this entire fight scene had like two different editors. One that tried to have more like grittier, like practical fight choreography, and another one where it's just all cartoony sound effects and visual gags.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's tonally inconsistent. Oh yeah, and this is another thing that bugged the shit out of me. These weapons suck compared to the show.
Come on, it was a pterodactyl thunderweb.
She had a bow and arrow.
Yeah, and bow and arrow that could take out lizards with apples on their heads, voiced by Bryan Cranston for some reason.
Oh, he's doing the Liu Kang bicycle kick.
Oh god, that was gooey.
And yeah, he gave up his lance for that. Don't worry, let me flip over there. let me spin over to you.
He could have rolled. That would have worked just as well.
What the hell?
So much flipping.
Where am I?
Wait for me. Why did I get the feeling he destroyed the camera and killed the cameraman in that last one?
And of course, Tommy gets to have his original weapon.
Right. Saba, the no-speaking cameo sword.
So is Jason David Frank pretty much the William Shatner of this group, where like it was all about him and everybody hates him?
I don't know. Like for the most
Debatable.
part, yeah.
Because he, I don't know. This again, just to me, he seems like to be the one who's like, "Hey, I was the Power Rangers, remember?" Still sort of living off of it all these years later.
I know he's the one who's appeared in Power Rangers the most, but I think that's largely because of his popularity in the franchise and his willingness to come back into the franchise. So it's like other than that one Power Ranger who killed somebody with a sword, I think most of these people made it out okay.
So hey, well, didn't he just do that?
No.
On film?
No, another. We're talking about another actor in real life.
Now we know where that other actor got his idea from.
Oh my god. God, that was dark. You should be ashamed of yourselves.
And like Lydia in the comments said, "Why doesn't Saba talk?" And Warrior King said, "'Cause Tommy needed more lines, of course."
Tommy can't have more lines if Tony Oliver gets lines.
Yeah.
Oh, man, the Ninja Turtles came by and wrecked our playhouse. They beat up Dad too.
Oh, Zord. You know, it's funny. In the show, they say Zordon is trapped in a time warp, but as the seasons went on, it became apparent he's living in that tube and he'd be dead like a goldfish outside of an aquarium. Here, though, they seem to make this. They make it clear that he's been inside that. That's really him inside the tube, and that without it, he's an old guy. I'm sorry. I'm
look on you with my own eyes.
Yeah. Even as a kid, I thought he looked like Vader.
Yeah. So.
I always thought it was weird that his entire body was wrapped in that weird wrinkly blanket.
I'm like, how do we know that's a blanket?
Ugh.
Exactly. Yeah.
God, put him, poor guy, out of his misery already.
Right.
Oh.
Let the force be with you always.
God damn it.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's another one.
It's Alpha 5. Stop it.
Billy's the first one to punch him.
Yeah.
I love those rare episodes where Alpha actually did turn into a bad guy because of bad programming. So you can tell the voice actor was having a field day just being a bastard on set. So, oh, that reminds me. Because the filming on this movie went longer than expected, they actually had to film a couple episodes of Power Rangers in Australia, and those being the multi-parters, The Wedding, which was mostly consisting of less Power Ranger footage and just mostly the actors in monster suits doing a bar mitzvah. I'm not kidding. And
I remember that.
Yeah, exactly. And then, of course, there was The Return of the Green Ranger, which was a 3-parter where Tommy fought against a clone based on his Green Ranger persona, but also had a B-plot of the other Rangers transported back to colonial times in America, meeting the ancestors of Bulk and Skull and then working with them to fight against a trio of giant rats. That one also featured the menacing but equally terrible-looking Wizard of Destruction, who was just a bunch of Halloween props put together to make a new villain. But yeah, those episodes were done very much in the cheap and filmed around Sydney, Australia. So actually incorporating elements that, hey, we're in Sydney, Australia for further, no, whatever. It's a dumb show. I can't believe I have notes. Meanwhile, H.R. Giger's Playhouse. Are you guys still there?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just enjoying the movie, Ralph.
I know, but it's like I gotta make sure that you guys didn't like cut off, and I'm just talking to myself.
I'm sure there's some weirdo fan out there that enjoyed that.
Yeah. No.
Given what we were talking about last time.
Shut up. Now that I know that...
I love this actor.
Yeah. Now that I know Paul Freeman was wearing basically extending boots, you can kind of see him awkwardly walk.
Oh yeah, he's got a sassy strut.
Yeah.
You could tell he was having fun.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, there's the end of Red. Oh, okay, they're okay. It's the ending of Krampus.
Oh my god.
The entire series took place in a snow globe?
I wish I was Saint Elsewhere right now.
Badooch. God, that's a good Goldar redesign.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like
I do like it.
Yeah, I like the original.
It's a million times better than the 2017 version of Goldar.
Oh yeah, the giant CGI, boring-looking man made of gold.
Melted cheese.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, no, it's true to the original Griffizor from Jew Ranger. Whatever. Paul Friesman. But it's more elegant and smooth.
Golden Monkey Man.
Yeah, Golden Monkey Man. Yes, the Golden Monkey Man.
You're a bestie. You know who else can take on the Power Rangers?
Ooh.
My mom!
And here we have the introduction of the Tengu Warriors. Their official names in the TV show is the Tenga Warriors, but to separate them from their movie counterparts, they're referred to as Tengu Warriors. And it's more on the nose because they're one of the few American creations from the third season of the movie directly inspired by the yokai theme of Kaku Ranger. So, especially since Kaku Ranger had a Tengu monster, but it wasn't the crow-based ones. It was a long-nosed, red-skinned individual. But yeah, it's like I gotta admit, the Tenga Warriors. I know they reused the costumes for the TV show.
Wait, which ones are the Tengu Warriors and which ones are the Tenga Warriors?
The Tengu Warriors are what they're called in the movie, but they just changed the name a little bit to separate them from their movie counterparts in the TV show.
Because I gotta say, in a modern context, Tenga is a very bad name to choose for them, given that it is the name of a Japanese sex toy.
Goddamn English language. We'll refer to them as the Tengu Warriors from this point on. And of course, these scenes were filmed around the coasts of Queensland, so in order to get the kind of alien look. So yeah, no, they obviously the reason they filmed in Australia was for Australia.
Look at this place, isn't it neat?
And of course, here's Hayam Saban's former business partner making a cameo.
I do honestly like the extra mileage they went to give it an alien design as opposed to like putting a generic skeleton from Party City on there.
Mm-hmm. And we're going to be seeing a lot of dead alien corpses throughout this planet. So
yeah. I just realized, the funny thing is about when it comes to movie making, just storytelling in general, you want to be able to establish your characters. But this movie doesn't really establish any of the Power Rangers. Mm-hmm. It always treats them as like one singular entity.
Yeah.
So like you could have easily written this exact movie with one Power Ranger as opposed to 6 of them. Because none of them, from a writing standpoint, have been distinct or what's the word?
I want to say the word, but I know I'm going to screw it up.
Differentiate. Yeah, this movie makes no attempt at differentiating any of the 6 protagonists. So it's like, as fun as it is revisiting this movie, it's very apparent that this movie does not really feel like a movie, narratively speaking.
Yeah. And apparently this movie went through a lot of issues during the initial scripting phase, because originally the studio wanted something a little more serious, similar to the Ninja Turtle movie and even Batman. But
that would totally, like Ninja Turtles, totally,
Yeah, but Hayam Saban insisted it be the same tone as the TV show. And apparently the original script was almost nothing but dialogue, and they had to add more action sequences, as well as the director, Brian Spencer, deciding to choose to make it a kind of adventure story similar to Wizard of Oz, i.e. our heroes are going from one place to another. But even then, during the filming, they realized there wasn't enough action sequences, and they had to basically rework everything, hence the reason we got more fight scenes in the final product. So it is a double-edged sword. You got a movie that moves at a better pace, but at the same time, like you said, it destroys any chance for characterization. Outside of Paul Freeman having a hell of a time on screen.
Yeah, he definitely has like more development than he's more fleshed out than any other character in this movie.
But then again, that's like
I suppose this scene right here is meant to establish that they have some kind of connection. But like, unless you watch the series, you wouldn't even tell that they're a couple.
Yeah. God, I hate to say, you can almost mistake them for siblings if you didn't know what their exact relationships were.
Right.
So in a sense, this movie is very much like Star Wars.
In fact, I think this might be the only time we had 2 of the Rangers interacting with each other. Every other scene, they were all together.
Yeah. Oh no, it is the Tengu Warriors.
Holy Hitchcock, Batman!
You see one of the Tengu Warriors falling away with Tippi Hedren. I'm done with this shit. Put me down.
And Steve asks, I forgot, when did Kat replace Kimberly in the TV series? I want to say that it was season 3.
It was season 3, and unlike the unceremonious dumping of the original Red, Yellow, and Black Ranger, they actually gave Kimberly's farewell a half a season arc ending in a 3-parter. So,
right.
No, it's God. At least the 3rd season of Power Rangers as it has its problems, but at least it was trying to be a little ambitious and better written, relatively speaking.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Tengu Warrior costumes here, they look great, but by the time they got back to America for the TV show, you can tell the costumes kind of degenerated a little bit and have wear and tear on them. Like the armor here, you can...
That's a decent effect right there, like practical effect.
Yeah.
The Tengu Warrior carrying it off.
Yeah.
Inconceivable.
It's Obi-Wan Kenobi scaring off the Tusken Raiders.
Oh, Alec Guinness.
You've been working out. And here we have the introduction of Dulcia, who will be our sexy ninja for the rest of the movie.
Because it's like they couldn't afford to give her a costume, so they just made that with what little material they had left.
Attention, the cast from Xena Warrior Woman has invaded the Power Ranger movie set.
If you don't pay attention to my sticks, you can pay attention to my boobs.
Right. Well, it's okay. You guys are probably going to laugh your ass off for me saying this, but even knowing she's in a bikini, it's still a tasteful looking outfit, relatively speaking.
Yeah.
Like
true.
It's
true.
I'm not knocking it.
Yeah, it's skimpy and sexy, but it's not disgusting.
I do like that they also give it like a vine-like texture to it.
Yeah. It's like you could buy her as like a kind of Greek goddess type character. So despite all the skin she's showing off, but it's relatively tasteful for what it is.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah. Although with that says, when she showed up in the trailers, I remember every parent like, yeah, you're not seeing that movie.
Lydia just said, "Excuse me, Barbarella would like a word." And Steve asks, I'm not sure if I'm remembering it right, but wasn't there a Christmas episode that established that Kat married Tommy? I don't think so.
No.
Tommy does have a son, in the 25th anniversary special for Ninja Steel, but they never established who the mother was.
In the 3rd season, there was an episode where Rita Revolto, Rita's zombie skeleton brother, and Goldar invaded Santa's workshop. And it was told from a flashback from the future with an aging Tommy and Kat, who are grandparents and are married.
Oh shit! I totally forgot about that. How? Wow.
Yeah, and it is established that that their children are Power Rangers themselves. But yeah, Santa Claus and his workers' workshop is apparently real in the canon of Power Rangers. And also another fun fact.
So the son from the 25th anniversary had to be from Kat.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And here's something even more shocking. The actor who played Santa Claus in that episode of Power Rangers was the same one.
Was Paul Frees back from the dead?
No, it was the same. They used the same actor who played Santa Claus in the episode for the Christmas specials of VR Troopers, Big Bad Beetleborgs, and Masked Rider, meaning that the Saban universe is connected through Santa Claus.
Yeah, we never got a crossover with VR Troopers. Which, I'm not gonna lie, I honestly would not have minded seeing.
Yeah.
Because I liked VR Troopers.
Brayton in 4 years.
Brayton now.
This is a great the villain outfits all look great in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's too good for a fucking Power Ranger movie. That's all I gotta say. The 90s, back when kids thought slime was cool.
I used that.
God, I remember seeing Nickelodeon Gek everywhere on the toy shelves.
Mm.
And then they had that, because I bought a couple of them. I bought the glittery kind, which I thought was super fun, but I regretted getting the one that had scent implemented into it because it did not smell good.
Ew.
Like, this is false advertising!
So if the evil thing didn't work out, Ivan Ooze could have just quit his job and became a salesman wizard traveler.
Yeah.
And Slime is making a comeback with all those DIYs.
Right.
What?
Wait a minute, that looks like Australia.
Yeah, if you see someone buying a shit ton of school glue, it's because it's a material component to do homemade slime.
Oh.
According,
Steve just said, "I can't believe I'm one of the only few that remembers that." Lol.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
Oh,
I think that's the real Tango Warrior right there.
Earth has the Devil Mountain. Dosia's planet has the Devil's Boner. Wouldn't like that one. I got one laugh. Get it? Dick jokes.
I swear I'm an adult.
Right. That or Daimajin fell asleep. Happy.
And of course, they might be giants.
Nothing wrong with They Might Be Giants. Any movie that has They Might Be Giants and Devo on the soundtrack, nah, never mind. It's a bad choice. I don't know why, but I always, like, They Might Be Giants, if they met a Power Ranger monster in real life, I think they could take them on.
Beto O'Rourke?
Yeah.
What?
It's like kids these days and their Nickelodeon get...
Whoa.
Okay, I'm being zombified.
Larry Cohen's The Stuff, coming soon.
Ugh.
He even looks like the dad from The Stuff.
So every one of those parents started playing with their slime out of curiosity?
Yeah. Okay, notice that old blonde lady with the cowboy
Yes.
hat.
Yeah.
Okay, they're all Aussies pretending to be
what's
Americans.
her story?
Yeah, they're all Aussies pretending to be Americans. So when she came up on the set, was she like, I'm an American, mate?
Mutes cowboy boots.
I bet you this commercial was inspired by the Joker's.
He's been using a product X.
I love Zordon's reaction. It's like, that's my reaction whenever a commercial comes up on television. It's like, oh God, really? Hi, kids. Ivan Ooze here. Do you remember playing with snot? Well, I do.
And I want to give it to you.
Put it out your noses. Put it in your hoses.
Now, as we know, the actress, this is not the first actress they got to play Dulcea, although there's been conflicting reports about what exactly happened on set. But for the most part, from what I understand, they liked this actress a lot more better. And when the opportunity came, she was supposed to play the character originally, but then the studio insisted on another actress, but she didn't work out. And so they got this actress back again. Unfortunately, I don't know what her name is. Hold on, I got a Wikipedia page here.
Splinter shows up in the fire. Damn it, not again.
I gotta say, like this sort of like enchanting ambiance, like music. This feels like very 90s, like something that could only come from this era of family entertainment, like Land Before Time.
Yeah, I did take another look at my VHS copy the other night, and even the trailers and previews before this movie, like the Page Master, Dunstan checks in, and the Adventures of Yellow Dog or whatever, extremely of the era. Yeah.
Gabriella Fitzpatrick is the name of this actress, and I think she does a pretty good job playing Dulcea, but I remember her more as the plucky reporter in Jackie Chan's Mr. Nice Guy, which is an underrated movie in my opinion. Also filmed in Sydney, Australia.
So she's giving them characteristics that we have yet to see in this actual movie.
And of course we have the famous line that's coming up when we get to Adam.
I'm a frog. I'm a frog.
It's not easy being black.
I got a frog.
It's not easy being black. Wait a minute.
Now, a testament to Johnny Long Botch's comical chops. This entire scene is all his. Originally, they did one based on the script, but then he offered this improv idea, and thankfully it ended up in the final movie.
Yeah, I mean, the dude went from a lion to a frog.
That is true. And then before that, he had a woolly mammoth. So.
No. Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah. And of course, these Nageti costumes are inspired by the.
No. He never had the Macedon powers, I think.
Oh, that's right. He showed up in the second season. Okay.
Yeah, after they made the switch.
Right. Thank God it's the third season. I'd be confused as hell. No, these Nageti costumes they're also directly inspired by the ninja suits that were featured in Kaku Ranger. Because our heroes, of course, they transform into the full-bodied spandex. But throughout most of the episodes, they battle in more traditional, multicolored ninja suits. And these Nageta suits are very similar to those. So. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure.
I do like that they gave them like new versions of the power coins, which like I've seen fans recreate the power coins in the style of the season 2 and 3 Zords.
Right. Labyrinth.
It's Hedwig.
Get me out of here, out of this movie. That's my terrible David Bowie impression.
What the fuck was that?
I'm sorry, guys. I'm having too much fun watching this shit.
I would be calling for Mom, but she doesn't exist in this movie.
She probably died off screen.
Mom.
There's
Mom.
I do gotta wonder what is that concoction he's drinking.
Lemonade.
Ooze brew.
Ooze brews.
John Lovitz.
That's the ticket.
I'm acting.
I'm gonna make my career big with this movie. I hope the critics like me.
I'm a failure. Acting, thank you.
Kevin Smith thinks I'm a douchebag. Oh my God, John Lovitz sounds a lot like Jack Hoxton.
Kinda does.
Yeah.
Now that's a really cool stunt.
Yeah. And done with a giant crane just off camera, too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you don't see any of the strings at all. Impressive.
Like, all right, status report, and then I'm going back to drinking my booze.
And laughing at the fat dancing man.
I'm going to give each and one of you a kiss because I love you that much.
Oh, God. Dana Carvey voiced that one?
It does take you out of the illusion of evil space aliens when they have celebrity voices. Like, how many freaking monsters on Power Rangers had to sound just like Peter Lorre or Arnold Schwarzenegger? But then again, the regular Crow voice doesn't work either, does it?
Yeah.
Yay.
Fuck them birds.
That reminds me of something me and my brothers used to talk about, like if you were forced to work for a supervillain, which supervillain you'd work for, and the big rule is it doesn't matter how likable and fun they are, if they don't kill their henchmen on a regular basis, they're not worthy to work for. Ivan Ooze fails the test. And yet Crankor from Prince in Space is a much better employer, all things considering.
Yeah.
To Mount Phallus.
Kimberly, you climb it first.
Oh no!
Damn it! This is supposed to be a wholesome movie. Well, not counting all the bird killing and
Wholesomeness was never an option.
yeah.
Hyunk,
Hey,
hyunk.
it's
I
not
am
Pride
Goose.
Rock, it's Pride Cock.
Audience, stay
funny
classy,
man,
okay?
you.
Warrior Keen says, I know he was just being evil and all, but surely sending the Tengu
Dude,
back.
Pride Rock.
Right. Warrior
The
King
reference-
says, I know he was just being evil, but surely sending the Tengus back to finish the job would have made more sense than just killing them all and doing nothing to stop the Rangers. That is true.
Wait, Grandma Bertha doesn't work a 9-to-5 construction job.
Something's funny
It's
going on here.
fishy.
Like nobody can notice the kid in the bright
Is
neon.
this how you mine?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, I get it. Mime. No, I don't.
A lot
I'm
of
lying.
things, son.
Okay, is this a Nike cap or is it a Jordan's cap? Make up your mind, movie.
You kid, visiting hours are 4 to 8 a.m. I love how even mind control somebody needs a break.
Those are some really cool props.
Yeah. Yeah, again, the art direction and production design on this is surprisingly good for what this is supposed to be.
Mm-hmm. You said horny. That's right, Nippo.
He is literally in the other room behind a closed door. I'll be right
Meanwhile,
back.
Navi's.
How about the hint
Navi's
of the bar? Got it, zap him.
Meanwhile, Navi's just asleep on my desk,
Okay.
so he's not meowing his opinions
Now this,
right now.
now these sets here are very immaculate.
It's almost as if they grew out of the ground.
Uh-oh.
And these giant... Oh no, it's a set of The Last Dinosaur! You gonna sing, Brayton, or no?
Huh?
Never mind.
Okay.
And all these skulls were made out of industrial strength styrofoam.
Yeah.
So...
Ah, welcome to
you said
it. Yeah.
Reference! Oh no, my wolf sword! Oh my god! And here comes my favorite monster out of the whole movie, the sadly simplistically named bone creature.
Yeah, again, I think this effect holds up a lot.
Yeah, and it's just a giant marionette too. Because again, they didn't have the money to do the extra CGI, so they decided just to create a giant 20-foot long dinosaur skeleton puppet.
Yeah,
And
it's like it's interestingly like you can tell it's like a stylized, cartoonish looking skeleton monster.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's not really a realistic looking. It doesn't really have any realistic bone texture. It's very soft looking,
Mm-hmm.
but it works.
Yeah. And it's funny too, for a show that has a lot of dinosaur elements in it, they rarely fought against dinosaur-related villains. Even Dino Thunder, and the main bad guy was a dinosaur-based monster, but all the other monsters were like half lion, half daisy, half gun monster. Whatever, who cares? Screw Dino Charge. Dino Thunder, Dino Charge. I don't know. I'm getting all confused. But yeah, no, this is a really good marionette sequence. And what's funny was, it's really.
Are they allowed to use the T-Rex Jurassic Park roar?
Oh, you're right. That was the T-Rex roar.
Yeah. So no, apparently this thing could only move in one direction when it was charging. So they did a lot of editing and planning in order to make it look like it was moving all over the place.
Oh, it looks good.
Yeah. So sadly, the creature has.
It's a shame. It's a shame this team of heroes can't actually work as a team and have to rely on Tommy to do everything.
Just like the real Power Ranger franchise.
Oh!
It is taken out like a bitch, unfortunately. But yeah, what's funny about the Bone Creature is he's apparently one of those Power Ranger monsters who most Power Ranger fans just despise. Hence the reason it doesn't even have a page on the official Super Sentai Power Ranger wiki. Yeah, somebody should change that.
Somebody.
Amazon workers.
Oh no! Oh, this is too true.
And there's poor Adam. Why is one of the mind control slaves holding a file? Does he report daily to Ivan Ooze?
Yeah.
Here is the status report on the financial upbringing of the operation. How's the Dow?
It plummeted.
Oh. How about you take another quack and it just blows up the accountant? Well, that's way gooier and messier than a bunch of birds exploding.
Smells strangely like iron and copper.
Oh.
I mean, it's dastardly evil to make his henchmen like run off a cliff, but it does contradict what he said earlier about needing mindless slaves to help run the planet for him.
Yeah. Humans breed like cockroaches. I guess he'll just get more later.
He probably was like decided on a whimsy just to like, yeah, fuck it, I'll kill him.
It is a funny line delivery, though. It's like, thank you for everything, but I'm getting bored of your boring attitudes and your ugly faces, so jump off a cliff.
It's like, well, you're the one who mind controlled them. You can just kind of not make them boring, mindless slaves.
And now we're going to witness two beautiful live-action props transformed into terrible CGI of the early 90s.
At the very least, the chrome, the shiny, the super shininess, at least matches the chromey metallic look of the monsters. But at the same time, they were not this chromey when you saw them as practical effects.
Yeah. And it's a shame, too, because they are generally good designs. The Hornitor and the Scorpitron, or whatever. What the hell are these?
Compared to these guys, Reptilian's well animated. Yeah, they look pretty bad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, anyone ever got a Megalon vibe from Hornitor growing up?
Yeah. What is the name of this damn thing? Hornitor.
Yeah.
As Wynn says. He said horny.
I'm surprised they only ever made like one toy, two toys out of these guys back in the day. I'm surprised that they never made like a legacy Hornitor, legacy Scorpionator.
Yeah, Scorpitron. Yeah. Those would make beautiful figures, especially with the chrome painting.
Yeah. Like they made toys of Ivan Ooze, modern by 2010 standards. They made modern toys of the movie suits and of Ivan Ooze, I believe. So I'm surprised they never got to those guys.
Yeah.
I think they probably even made like a legacy Morpher based on the movie Morpher. I could be wrong though.
And of course, here we're coming up. Hold on. We're coming up to the sequence where, in order to gain their powers, they have to face against the gatekeepers.
Right. This is again
Rick Moranis.
He just
I wish that.
are you the
wish that
Keymaster?
series-
He just runs at them, and they
no.
just hold him by the forehead as he's trying to smack him. No, these.
What was it?
Go on.
From a writing standpoint, it's like this is just action sequence after action sequence after action sequence.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like literally nothing is done character-wise. I'm probably going to repeat this a few more times, but it's just like as like someone who is someone who is an aspiring film critic and someone who has since gone on to like sort of pay attention to these sort of things in film. It just sort of astounds me that at no point during the making of this movie did they ever think, hey, should we do something character-centric about this story? Nah, let's just throw in another.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all. Like, should we write more dialogue for these characters? Yeah, how about another? Yeah.
I got as cool looking as these things are, and they do scream like heavy metal '90s warriors. Do you think it works that a lot of the monsters they face in this come in large armies as opposed to just a singular character at a time? Or is it like another fact where we're not really getting personality from anybody outside Ivan Ooze?
To me, it's like I like the idea of fighting multiple enemies just because it's a movie, so you'd expect like higher stakes. So instead of one single bad guy to beat, you got a bunch of bad guys to beat.
Yeah.
And you got the singular bad guy in Ivan Ooze. So the fact that he's sort of the one who creates these other monsters, and plus on top of that you have other monsters, I think conceptually it's a good idea.
Yeah. God, these things do look pretty cool, I gotta say.
Mm-hmm. I am curious to know if they ever made any toys of these guys.
Yeah. Fun fact, though, one of the surviving Gatekeeper costumes made it in a cameo appearance in Power Ranger SPD as one of the many bar patrons of oh darn it, what's the name of the alien? Hold on.
Pigsy?
B. Arthur?
Yes, in Power Rangers SPD, there's a alien bar owner named Pigsy, who's actually more of a frog-like being, and you can see a repainted Gatekeeper as one of his bar patrons.
Cool.
So.
Hey, no prop gone to waste.
Yeah, that's like, other than the great Saban warehouse fire of the early 2000s, they really reused a lot of their monster suits over and over again. So it's,
oh no, water, my weakness.
I'm melting! Melting! What a world! What a world!
we barely knew you, Gatekeeper number 3.
Oh yeah, this actually scared me as a kid.
Oh yeah. I hate to see the David Lynch director's cut. Where they have to fight Kyle McLachlan. Damn it! I said his name wrong.
Okay, Tommy, you've had 12 pages of
I
eons.
know, he's saving everybody.
Quickly, let's kill this rubber monster with a styrofoam boulder.
Oh,
Oh
God.
no, rocks, my only weakness.
Ooh.
You know, I just had a dark thought. These guys are the gatekeepers
Aw.
to a holy temple. So technically, are these good guy monsters that are being unfairly
No, it's religion.
killed?
It's evil.
Okay. You say that about every church we visit, Brayton. How many priests have you killed?
I'm just saying the Jesus fandom can be pretty toxic
Yeah.
sometimes. That's all I'm getting at.
Steve
How many
mentioned-
more of these guys are there?
These are the last 2.
Oh no, weapons,
okay.
my only weakness.
Oh, this line.
Oh, fuck you, Billy.
Okay, that's probably the one of the few
my
things I like
dick.
from the Rangers.
Ouch, my ball!
Or rather, one of the only sight gags I like from the Rangers.
Right.
Oh god, this scene. Of course, he has to. Once again, Tommy has to save everybody.
With an unrealistic corkscrew kick.
Walls, my only weakness.
Isn't it funny how in Hollywood movies, rock monsters are both the most powerful but most brittle creatures in fiction?
Legends of the Hidden Temple.
Oh, great. We got to
Yes.
work for this talking head now.
Yes, but at the same time, do you think they actually have the intelligence put together to go into the Shrine of the Silver Monkey and solve the puzzle?
Oh, God.
Seriously! That thing is
The hell is this
simple!
now?
Steve, you commented if anyone remembers the McDonald's toys. Yes, I own all of them.
Oh, my God. I only have the bear and the crane Zord.
I did have one of the original Ivan Ooze toys from around this time, and it was really shitty. I mean, he looked like a California raisin or something.
Yogurt. Just plain yogurt.
Yogurt.
It'd be funny if like Mel Brooks did come out of this. It's like, you kids, what sort of comedy is this?
Mel Brooks should have been Zordon.
Yeah.
So
It could have been Jew Ranger then. Huh.
I do
was
like this
expecting
little
more.
musical piece.
Right.
Yeah. You gotta admit, the music is at least consistent.
It is very
Yeah.
swelling 90s sort of
Yeah.
family movie score.
Yeah, the guy who did
Yeah.
the soundtrack for this also did
I'm imagining Free Willy to jump out of the water any second here.
and then
Or like the final 10 minutes of a Disney film.
and then they start
Sounds a
karate-
bit like Jesus Christ Superstar. This is weirding me out.
Yeah. And then these things start karate kicking these magical things flying around them.
Ah.
Now, I'm trying to pay attention this time around, but like, yeah, okay. So the little emblems on their chest, they're now the new animals.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're no longer like the dinosaur ones. Also, it's weird that like early in the movie, I just realized earlier in the movie they were like saber-tooth tiger, Tyrannosaurus. They were announcing the season 1 Zords, not the season 2 Zords.
Mm-hmm.
You never heard them say Phoenix, Lion, Griffin, or any of that shit.
Okay.
Yeah, it was like Mastodon, Lion, Thundersword power.
Right.
Oh,
So like
yeah.
this movie like completely ignores the Thunderzord powers.
Yeah.
So again, as someone who was like watching Power Rangers around this time, I saw a lot of season 1. I barely caught glimpses of season 2 in reruns.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like a part of me completely always forgot the Thunderzords existed. So I thought, oh, this movie is meant to explain the jump from season 1 to 3.
Yeah. Okay, so discussing the giant fight scenes in this movie, the original plan was to actually use real locations around Sydney for the backgrounds for the final fight. Unfortunately, the budget didn't allow for this, so except for this one rampage sequence where they were able to actually do what the director and the production crew wanted to do. So when they've had the big fight between the ectomorphicons and the Ninja Zords, it's all done across a model city because that was the only way they could do it on a reasonable budget. So, and even as bad as the CGI though, that rampage sequence did look somewhat decent.
Well, the fact that it was in broad daylight didn't help matters.
Yeah.
No.
So, but yeah.
And you'll notice a thing with especially early CGI creatures and stuff. Whenever they're on screen, the camera rarely ever moves because they had a composite in the effect.
Mm-hmm.
It's always a still shot.
Yeah.
Oh, great, the Mysterions. Mysterians.
We're calling on our Mogira Zord. slowly bursts through the floor. Do.
I just realized that the Pink Ranger, she has these like weird like pink teardrops underneath her visor, and I'm looking at an image of like the original costume, and yeah, she doesn't have those at all.
Yeah, that looks good. The nighttime scene with the Scorpitron just blowing stuff up. This doesn't though. This looks terrible.
No.
It doesn't help that Hornator has like an adorably oversized head. It does give Megalon vibes, doesn't it? Or Antlar from Ultraman. Wave your arms, ha!
So what do you guys think of the actual movie suits for the Rangers? I forgot to comment on that.
Yeah, because we should. I'm gonna briefly mention something about the movie suits. They're actually made out of a patent leather, and they weighed around 18 and 20 pounds. And apparently, early in the production, when they were filming, the suits would constantly break whenever they did karate moves because they're very limited. Hence, you have promotional photos where the White Ranger is doing a pose and his nether regions are completely ripped open. So, yeah, so thankfully nothing's hanging out of it, but it's still awkward. So eventually they found good material to help patch things up during the second half of filming. But yeah, as impressive as these things look, they were ripping all over the place. Yeah. So they're ripping friends, if you will. So
I definitely like these suits a lot, and I think it's like visually having a slight like armored / like leather latex take on the suits. I do like. Yeah. The only thing that kind of weirds me out is like they got some sort of like a weird camel toe. Everyone's got a weird camel toe thing going on in the crotch region.
Well, you're gonna drink that? What's going on?
Yeah, I know. I'm like, what is this stuff?
Yeah.
Grape juice?
Oh God! Look at what Bulk's drinking. A 7-Up. Disgusting. And where's Ernie? Did these kids kill Ernie?
The 90s are over!
Get a job already!
It seems like they're equivalent of a fucking rave party.
Yeah.
Minus the ecstasy and cocaine.
Yeah.
Look at these. These kids are high off Ivan Ooze.
They're high off ooze.
Yeah.
Ivan Ooze is evil. What the fuck? No.
You mean that kind wizard who murdered our parents is evil?
Remember, kids, you ooze, you lose.
Yeah. I gotta admit,
Plot twist, the ooze is laced with cocaine.
Yeah. As terrible as the CGI Zords are, at least the model city they're fighting in looks fantastic. It's like...
And Steve just said, wait, so the suits were made to be nice but fell apart during movement? Oh God, does that mean we owe Ultraman Power an apology?
Yes, you do. Actually, no, you don't. Ultraman Powered was a crap fest.
Hearing that about the suits makes me think of an indie game that came out a couple years ago that I watched a friend of mine play called Chroma Squad.
Right. Ooh, yeah.
Poor Goldar, he was just trying to have a personal moment with Ivan Ooze, and he rejected him.
You're pretty much a group of indie filmmakers making your own Sentai series, and you can kind of upgrade your materials after each episode.
Right.
Depending on how well the episode goes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I heard that game was good.
Yeah.
I think I do wonder if it's on any consoles. If it's on Switch, I would totally download it, but I know it's on Steam.
Yeah.
I know that I watched my friend play it. He was playing it from Xbox Live.
Oh, so okay.
I'm pretty sure there's a PS4, and maybe if there's enough feedback, a Switch port.
Look at the golden teddy bear.
Oh, bother.
Shoots it and just shoots like massive explosions of honey falls over the city.
I think of all the Zords, the ape is the one with the biggest redesign, since he actually looks like an ape instead of like a weird samurai ape-ish warrior.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the TV show, he looks like a mechanized version of Caesar from Planet of the Apes.
Yeah, during that bear moment, I was gonna say, shh, you can't make Winnie the Pooh jokes. China will get pissed off.
Yeah.
No,
Take that, communist! Pachoo!
The president of China will get pissed off. The rest of China is like, more Pooh jokes, please.
Well, in this case, Xi Jinping will get pissed off.
Yeah.
Lydia says, monkey!
Okay, I'm going to ask you guys a question. I've been watching a lot to prepare for this commentary. Oh, hold on. Most embarrassing line in the movie. Oh, Goldar, your weird fetishes towards humans. Okay. Why hasn't anybody shipped Goldar and the Pink Ranger more often based on that horrible line?
We need to draw some artwork.
No, unless I get paid. Anyways, okay, so I've been watching a lot of reviews based on this movie, preparing for the commentary.
Let me guess, you saw the double toasted video?
I saw the double toasted video. That was hilarious. But yeah. No, Oliver Harper brought up a point that maybe the movie would have been superior if they decided to go with the old men in the suit methods. But do you feel that would have been better than the CGI, or should they have gone with a stop motion?
No.
Yeah.
Well, stop motion, maybe. was stop motion still a thing back in? I know there was like, what was it called, Robot Jocks?
Yeah, well, that's what I was going to mention. RoboJocks has a much better end fight scene, and that's a mix between puppets and stop motion. It looks a hell of a lot better than if they had gone with the guys in suits or CGI route. Like the model buildings, again, those look really good. But
yeah, I totally forgot these were models in the background.
Yeah, they're very well lit. They're not overly detailed, but they're just detailed enough that you buy the illusion that these are real buildings.
Of course, Tommy gets another kill. He gets all the kills shots.
So, but yeah, do you guys feel if they went with older school effects, this would have looked a lot better?
Yeah, totally. Like the CG does add a lot of silly nostalgic charm, but like, yeah, it would have definitely held up a lot more had these been like either men in suits or stop motion robot jocks effects effects.
Yeah, or even like really well done live action puppets too.
Or you know what? The suits from the Power Ranger Turbo climax wasn't bad.
Yeah.
It's just a damn shame. Like with Power Rangers Turbo, unfortunately, the giant fight scene is incredibly brief. Oh god.
Yeah, the movie's writing was bad, but the costumes are actually on point.
Yeah, and done by the Chiodo brothers, who did work on the Land of the Lost remake TV series and Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
I actually liked that TV series.
Yeah, it wasn't half bad.
Which TV series?
The Land of the Lost remake from the 90s.
Living in the Land of the Lost.
Yes, thank you, Britton.
Yeah.
Wait, Goldar's on there. He hasn't given his wedding ring to Kimberly yet. Oh no, it's a giant Paul Freeman.
The writer wouldn't let me.
Not the monorail!
Walt Disney's going to replace it with a crappy roller coaster ride that will last 2 minutes.
Oh, fuck. Oh, God, this scene. I mean, the Ninja Megazord was already not one of my of the 4 Megazords of all the Zords and Megazords from the
first 3 seasons.
Of all the from the 3 seasons, yeah, this was my least favorite. So it was already my least favorite of the Megazords from the Mighty Morphin era, but this just knocks it down an entire peg. Or 2, or 5, or 10.
This looks like a Transformer designed by Dean from the Iron Giant.
Now you just need it voiced by Vin Diesel.
Oh shit!
What you're
and why is it
fighting with is art?
Whose idea was it to give it the sword of the Shogun Megazord? Well, I guess they wanted to have a sword fight, but they knew that they want to have a sword fight because Megazords in the past had swords, and they wanted to advertise the Ninja Megazord, but the Ninja Megazord didn't have a sword, so that's why they probably gave it the Shogun Megazord sword.
Right.
It's just super weird.
Yeah, I would have loved it if they kept with the punching finisher.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, because like I always assumed that because the Ninja Megazord is called the Ninja Megazord, I figured it's meant to be more athletic than the average Megazord. Which is what I like about the Super Nintendo game, Power Rangers The Fighting Edition, where they actually gave it a more agile appearance.
Yeah.
And
hell, if you wanted to compromise, you could have made it a kunai or a frickin' korachi, which is the cross between a Japanese dagger and a katana. It's pretty much a short sword.
Cool. Yeah.
Action figure!
Oh, hey, the only time this has ever appeared as a practical effect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or if you had to go the two-handed route, the norachi.
Oh.
Other than the jiggling trees and the glass shards, that was a pretty good crash through the building.
And of course, Tommy has to come in to save everybody.
God, to quote certain shark monsters, fuck Tommy.
Lydia says, but Andra's swords are so cool. Oh, you got a point there.
I'm surprised there hasn't been like at Galaxy's Edge with their Millennium Falcon. There should be a ride like this. Everybody gets their own little station inside.
The Millennium Falcon turns into a Megazord.
Right.
Transforms into Mecha Han Solo.
I bet if Balak had this, he would have killed Indiana Jones in 1 minute.
Did you call him Ballick?
Oh, damn it! Paul Freeman, I'm sorry for getting every name of everything you've ever done wrong. Like Riders of the Lost Art.
Yeah.
And Hoot Furs.
Okay.
And Richard the Liquor-Hearted. Hold on, let me bring up Paul Freeman's filmography and just say every one of his movies wrong. You're supposed to stop me.
Who the fuck died in Jew leader?
Tommy.
Your mom.
God, in real life, the adults would just be smacking the kids out of the way and then jump to their doom.
See, I'd go on a ride like this. I'd be the pink one.
I was gonna color code everybody in the thumbnail, and you came very close to being pink, but then I stopped myself realizing that would be insulting.
Starburst Rangers.
He's already pink. His avatar is already pink.
Look, I got pink hair.
Yeah, he's more of a combination of indigo colors.
Pink.
Oh man, this Nicolas Cage Color Outer Space movie is a lot worse looking than I expected.
Off stage, off screen, there's a bunch of like Disney documentary filmmakers pushing all the parents off the ledge. As like the lemmings.
Right. Led by the producer of Lilo and Stitch.
Wait, okay, so Steve mentioned, I never understood how there was never a toy for the movie Ninja Megazord. There was. I owned it, and it's shit. It's basically the T-Beam Ninja Megazord, except it's stuck in Megazord mode. You cannot separate it you cannot separate it into Zords, and you can only like attach and detach the Ninja Mega the Falcon Zord.
Right.
I hated that thing because it doesn't combine. It doesn't separate.
This was the only scene my parents laughed at when they watched this movie.
Right. Okay, yeah, that's what Steve mentioned. I remember Kmart just selling the Kakure Dai Shogun and marketed that as the movie one. Yeah, I guess that was the toy I had.
Right. Back when the kid was using the fire hose to keep the parents back, I love how you could tell the extras are trying to stay in zombie mind control mode, but the minute the hose hits them, they start. You can see the expressions of like,
shit.
Why am I here at 3 a.m. in the morning? Paul Freeman.
I gotta say, I don't think Trump's Space Force is working out too well.
Well, it's actually working a lot better than I was expecting.
Oh,
no.
Nut shot.
in the balls.
I love that they did kick Ivan Ooze in the balls.
Yeah.
And I just realized that comet was referenced at the very start of the movie. I just realized that.
Yeah. Although a lot of people, like, if they don't remember the Ryan's comment mentioned in the beginning, they'd be utterly confused by...
Not even mentioned. It's just, like, on a sign in the background.
Yeah.
You're all grounded.
We saved your asses. This is 90s sitcom logic. Oh, okay.
No homo.
It's like, huh? No homo.
It was the 90s after all. Men weren't allowed to show their emotions.
Yeah, in the TV show though, it would eventually get to the point where they're all hugging each other and they would throw in an old scientist guy between them too. I'm talking about Power Rangers in Space when they introduced Dr.
Yeah, and in Super Samurai, it seemed like they both adopted a kid.
Bulk and Skull, they deserve more. Like the few episodes where Bulk and Skull got to actually fight monsters and help the Rangers are like some of the coolest things ever. It's like seeing Laurel and Hardy go up against Power Ranger villains. So
yeah, I love that Bulk has his own tabletop series now.
Yeah,
in terms of Power Rangers.
That's right. Paul,
and he's the Yellow Ranger.
Yeah, there's an official tabletop Power Ranger game that they actually do as a web series. And Paul Schreier, who plays Bulk, is a future Orange Ranger or Yellow Ranger? What color is
Yellow
it?
Ranger.
Yellow.
Yeah, so it's cool that he did end up becoming a Power Ranger in the end.
Yeah, and I believe Andre the Black Nerd is the Blue Ranger?
He was the Blue Ranger.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the Black Ranger's a girl.
Well, he's dead. Let's put him in the oven. He's foil wrapped.
And Steve mentioned all those buttons and clicks only for a nut shot. Man, the engineering nightmare for the Ninja Megazord.
So it took Power.
And wait, hold on. I gotta read this. Warrior King Forever says, Ivan Ooze, a robo kick to the balls, my one weakness.
Yeah, Dr.
It's
Phenomenus. Yes, thank you, Warrior King, for getting his name right.
It's like, okay, guys, Deus Ex Machina time.
Yeah, it's like, guys, remember what we've learned throughout this movie?
No.
It's like, oh, what did you learn? With
Shut
the great
up,
power,
Adam.
we can do
That Tommy
anything.
likes to EA and win.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, what's their great takeaway from this journey of theirs?
Mhm.
That with the great power, anything is possible. So it's like, is that
Power
the thing we've been doing this whole time?
Friendship.
The power of
Friendship.
teamwork can make anything happen. But then that doesn't work because you guys haven't not done any teamwork whatsoever. You just rely on Tommy.
Well, there's also the editor running the film backwards, so...
Off screen, you can hear, we want to do shit, but the writers won't let us. They keep pouring out Tommy because he's the cash cow.
Right.
Yeah, Lydia just said, let's bring him back with the power of friendship.
Friendship is magic.
I'd high-five you.
Why don't you let me die?
Rangers.
Tor Johnson?
I love how the actual actor they got playing Zordon's floating head has more interaction with the team, as opposed to the constant reusing of the same 10 expressions in the TV show.
Yeah,
itself.
Zordon on the show is pretty horrid.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot this song was in here.
Yeah.
Celebration tonight. We survived another daily monster attack.
You know, I am genuinely curious to know what the fuck are they eating? I'm
Cholesterol-filled plates.
No,
That's a spider
seafood.
crab covered in barbecue and bacon.
A
Oh
lot
my
of it's
god,
seafood.
Commander Crayfish, no!
Past villains.
There's
Well,
Commander
to my-
Crayfish and Hammerclaw?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry,
To
I'll
my
stop.
understanding, there's a lot of shellfish in Australia.
Yeah. and a lot of giant spiders. Cue all the spider monsters is attacking from every season. Ah!
Anything's possible.
with the great power.
Mm-hmm. You know, there's been a lot of annoying kids on Power Rangers, but thankfully this kid is like one of the least bad.
Only because he's barely in the movie, and
Yeah.
this is like the second time in the whole movie he's interacted with them.
Yeah. God.
Oh god! Again the nostalgic feel.
To understand this film, you gotta be higher and higher than Tommy Chung.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah.
Higher and higher. That's Van Halen.
I know
Mhm.
the movie continuity never went beyond this one movie, but I am curious to know if and I guess Hasbro in this case, I wonder if Hasbro would have any interest in continuing this version of Power Rangers.
I don't know. We'll talk about that after the movie's done. But yeah, the future of Power Rangers looks. I don't have much faith in the future of Power Rangers.
Like, it would be interesting if we at least got like a comic sequel to the movie continuity, just to see where they would have gone
right.
with this. I know like the movie continuity doesn't do a whole lot to differentiate itself from the main TV continuity outside of the origin of the Ninja Zords.
Mm-hmm.
But I am curious to know, is there any potential in building on the top of this continuity?
Oh, there probably is a lot of potential. Like, what is it? We got a lot of Power Ranger video games and card games and merchandise based on a lot of elements from the first season. Even I forgot. Like, I'm honestly surprised they're coming out with detailed figures of King Sphinx and Pumpkin Rapper later this year. It's like, there's still a cash cow to be mined. Paul Freeman.
We got the song.
Comedic mid-credit sequence.
Oh, boy. He looks good in that chair.
Oh shit, Mom and Dad are home.
I do love how it's like a domestic sitcom on the moon with these guys.
Trouble.
The music video for that was weird. Lord Zed menacing these two teenage sluts.
I looked up the song on YouTube. Someone in the comments described it as B-52s meet the Spice Girls.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you're right.
It
Yeah.
was 1995, and music videos were kind of commonplace to have kind of random shit pop up in it.
Mm-hmm. I'm sorry for the terminology I've been using.
The 90s was definitely like an era of a lot of experimentation and of different styles, retro styles.
Yeah, I'll give the 90s that. It felt like that they weren't afraid to try something new.
Yeah.
Now in these days, it's just safe, safe, safe.
Yeah.
Raph, did you ever experiment in the 90s?
What do you mean?
I don't know.
I don't.
Just experiment in general.
Yeah. The 90s was a weird blur, especially during the mid of it. Like the 90s to me felt like a mutated extrapolation of what the late 80s was. Like it took forever for neon colored clothing to die. So, and Power Rangers was
Well, now
just,
it's making ironic comebacks with leggings and things like that.
yeah, exactly.
Neon.
And Stranger Things being too 90s for its own good, despite taking place
80s.
in the 80s. Despite taking place in the 80s. So, I don't know. The 90s was weird. And yet back then we thought the world was only going to get better because we're at a place of relative peace after the Iraq War. Now look at what happened.
And the Cold War.
Yeah. Yes, that is true.
That's one thing I definitely like about the 90s. It's like the Cold War was over. We didn't have to worry about 9/11, post 9/11 stuff.
Yeah,
it was just
were happening were relatively minor in comparison to the rest of history.
And the economy was actually getting better.
Yeah. Then Pokemon
Yeah.
showed up and it all went downhill.
What? Kung Fu fighting? Where's this coming from now?
It's the 90s. If a movie had martial arts, you'd throw in Kung Fu fighting. Like,
you're right. I
Yeah.
never knew this song was in the movie because I always
Yeah.
switched off the VHS at this point.
even Rumble in the Bronx had Kung Fu fighting in it. So during the
I
credits.
didn't even know it had a remix.
It's like
Yeah!
it's like the Godzilla '98 and the Heroes thing. Save the best music for the ending.
Or another good version of Heroes, We Can Be Heroes by David Bowie.
Well, that's the in '98. That's a cover of that song they
Just
use.
one day.
Holy crap, we only have 11 people, but the comments are coming in big time.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Only gotta answer questions.
Oh my goodness.
I left audio synchronicity to get away from this.
And then you fell into my spider trap.
Look at all these names: Brian Hannibal,
Oh god.
Dimitri Kitsopoulos.
John Musu Mechi?
Are these monsters from the 3rd season?
Michael Balog,
Jack Sissoms.
Dave Humpert.
Wait, Carl Roth.
Jerry Greenwood.
Daddy,
He's
I didn't know
a
your
tree
family
monster.
worked on this.
Oh god, the
Sydney,
Alpha 5.
Australia. Oh wait, no, it's
Worst Barbie ripoff ever. And of course we have the Alpha 5 song.
Is
Multiple
this him
effects,
singing?
yeah, multiple effects companies worked on
Oh
different
no,
creature effects.
they were called the Tengu Warriors in this movie.
Yeah. There were, like I said, they just changed the U to an A for the TV show.
Okay, I thought it was the reverse.
Yeah, no. I'm not very good at
it's-
communicating anything.
Dope lyrics.
Yeah.
Persqueak Salvi, Andy Playford.
See the Jewish version of this would be oi 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 oi.
What an amazing Australian accent you have.
It's
Thanks.
funny how I think they're doing this in alphabetical order, but it's funny that Karen and Johnny Young Bosch got the Yellow and Black Rangers get top billing technically. Maybe that's the reason why they were never given much to do as actors, because they're TV actors with little to no movie experience.
They've got
Yeah, there it is. Yeah, Australia, Queensland.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, all of it was filmed there.
Jonathan.
I want to
And-
walk down the aisle to the song.
Curry.
Stevie
Yeah,
Wonder.
Happy
Wait,
Walters.
really? Free
Stevie
ride.
Wonder thought he was working on the
Already?
Superman movie.
I bet Stevie Wonder was a really big fan of this movie.
Brayton.
Yeah.
Was that a
Well,
blind
you know,
joke?
because he's
Obviously, the special effects didn't bother him that much.
yeah. So it's
Trouble.
He couldn't tell the difference.
Dreams from Van Halen. The
Yep.
Power.
Oh,
from...
Kung Fu Dancing. That's what that remix is called.
Mm. God, this is like 90s. This is like trick or treating on a night in the 1990s and just eating all the candy when you get home.
so join
this
us
song's
next month, the month of Halloween, for our Halloween Town commentary.
No!
Oh!
No!
Oh God, Halloween Town.
I would be down for that.
If you can master your pumpkin wrapper impression, you will do that.
Okay. Yeah, that's on was it Disney Plus?
That was
If
Disney.
not, I would not mind doing a commentary for Hocus Pocus.
Oh,
yeah,
God.
that wouldn't be a bad idea. What about Return of Oz, you guys?
I've never
Oh
seen
shit, that movie's so
No.
trippy. I loved it.
We did it, guys!
Congratulations, we done it.
We
Let's
survived.
Let's celebrate by jumping out of an airplane.
Woo! Keep on rocking!
Guys, remember to get the parachutes before we leave. No? Damn.
Uh-oh. They didn't pack our parachutes.
And now we're
On
gonna
the
die
double.
like a purple bubble.
Good thing I have something close to a helmet with my brain protecting carapace.
Boo!
Let's see.
You
So-
snooze, you lose, fuckers!
What about me, the Hoxinator?
What
Steve-
about you?
You little flying wench!
Sorry, I gave the last shoot to KaijuNoir.
It's like, but he's a robot. He has jetpacks. Meanwhile,
Yes, but he was nice to me, so fuck you.
Right, what does Colonel Branson get?
Draco's always flying on a jetpack. Whee!
Boo's just sitting on his head.
Steve says Ninja Turtles 3 had kung fu fighting. Sadly.
It
Wow.
did. It did.
Right, maybe we should do a live watch of Ninja Turtles 3.
Help! We're some podcasters and we can't get up. Steven said Johnny Young Bosch did the voice of Bumblebee in the 2010 War for Cybertron game. That's true.
Mhm.
Jim Baldessari says it doesn't have to be next month, but I'd like to request Adventures in Dinosaur City. I've never seen that movie. The only thing I know about that, the only thing I know about Adventures in Dinosaur City is the game that JonTron reviewed years ago. That's all I know about it.
Yeah, that.
Well, that's one worth looking at. I haven't really seen it myself either.
Yeah, that movie was made during that dark time when everybody and their mother was trying to rip off Ninja Turtles, and you got Street Sharks and Biker Mice from Mars and SWAT Cats, and insert anthropomorphic animal with heroic occupation, and then boom,
Extreme Dinosaurs!
Oh man, there was Extreme Dinosaurs.
Rockin' on planet number 3.
And then there was Dino Troopers, which was like a weird dinosaur superhero show in the time of the 1930s, and they were all gangsters and detectives who turned.
Oh shit, T-Rex.
You remember that, don't you? Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, because there were some mornings where I had to get up super early to go to school, so I would have the TV going on in the background while trying to figure out, oh god, how can I finagle some extra sleep while picking out something to wear and not get yelled at for oversleeping.
Yeah, I think it's called The Adventures of T-Rex.
Yeah, I actually love the shit out of that cartoon.
Mm-hmm.
Also, don't forget Dino Saucers.
Oh yeah. Oh my god, I'm looking at the designs right now. This is. I forgot how chibi they were. So, oh yeah, they were a musical band who became RoboCop, Power Ranger like superheroes.
What?
God,
It was so good.
The,
It was guilty pleasure levels of good.
right. Was the 90s a mistake?
I'll be right back. I gotta go potty.
Okay.
Oh my god, I've never heard of the Adventures of T-Rex before. This is my first time looking at this.
Have you instantly fallen in love, Andres?
I don't know what to think of this. What to make of this?
I love how Jim is like all caps. Someone remembers T-Rex? So, I was gonna say it during the commentary, but sad story. The Commander Crayfish costume was among the many monster suits that were lost in the Great Saban warehouse
Purge.
fire of the early '90s, early 2000s.
Good.
Let's see. Warrior King Forever says Bosch did do much better as a voice actor than he did as a Power Ranger. Again, the writer's fault for not fleshing out his character, not his, and probably his lack of experience at this time, perhaps.
Yeah.
Warrior King also said for October, you guys should do a live watch of the best Halloween-centric episodes of Power Rangers, and then in November you should do Adventures in Dinosaur City.
Oh my, that's not a bad idea because we got the episode with the Frankenstein monster. We got the
Yeah.
pumpkin wrapper. We have that really weird Halloween special from Power Rangers Samurai, where it reveals that whenever a monster dies, they go to a nice suburban heaven.
What?
Yeah, that's weird. What's another?
Okay, yeah, we could definitely do like a Power Ranger Halloween special marathon in that
my
case.
God,
Oh, go fuck yourself.
And then for Christmas, we'll do the Christmas specials.
No, let's
All
not
right.
do that. Okay, there's only so much we can do. Oh my God.
There's legit Christmas specials.
Yeah, that one episode of Power Rangers where the Tombstone monster keeps bringing back all the other monsters from the dead.
Oh, wasn't that like a clip show?
No, that was just the monster fight scenes were a clip show, but the monster fighting, whatever, it's all none of that. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. And Shoma's old.
Steven, how dare you bring up the doozy bots?
Right?
Unless,
Okay, here's a list of Power Rangers.
A humdinger of a doozy bot. Know what I mean?
Here's the list of Halloween specials from Power Rangers. I'll read it when Win comes back, and we'll cross the idea past her, because we know Brayton's all excited about it, right?
Cue destroy all monsters, man falling out window. Oh!
And after I helped him with his schmuck too, the jerk.
and he mysteriously magically turns into a life-size crash dummy.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Oh my God. No,
Yeah,
okay.
I would rather gargle gravel than watch a Power Ranger Halloween special.
Marathon.
Okay.
Paul Lynde Halloween special, on the other hand.
Oh, we could do that too. We could make it like the Paul Lynde
No.
Halloween special. Why? I still want to watch that.
You watch it.
You watch it.
I'm
you do.
bitter.
Oh.
In that case, we can always
There's got to
do
be
something.
something.
Yeah.
There's got to be something 90s and nostalgic and Halloween
Yeah.
related we can watch though.
Let's see.
Yeah, Hocus
I'm
Pocus.
gonna look it up. 90s Halloween
Ooh,
movies.
We could watch that terrible Space Invaders movie about the little Martians that try to take over the Earth during Orson Welles' Halloween broadcast.
Let's see. I'm gonna read through these Halloween centric movies. There's Hocus Pocus as the first result.
Mm-hmm.
Nightmare Before Christmas, which I think is a little bit overdone, but I wouldn't mind. I'm always down for some that. Halloween Town.
This is weird. Maybe it's just me, but I watch Nightmare Before Christmas around Christmas. I guess it could count for both. Being Halloween and
You know what? Have any of you guys ever watched Frankenweenie? Because I love Frankenweenie.
The original?
No, the remake stop motion movie.
I've never seen the remake stop motion movie.
Oh.
I grew up with the original short
definitely-
film.
That's definitely a movie we can check out because that's the thing, like people always like dog on Tim Burton's recent movies like Alice in Wonderland and whatnot, but and what was that one movie he made, the one with the family that was based on a TV show, dark something with the vampire.
Dark Shadows.
Dark Shadows.
Yeah,
Cooper.
people, dog on Dark Shadows and Alice in Wonderland. Nobody ever talks about Frankenweenie. I think it's a darn shame.
Yeah. Well, that's a funny thing. I haven't really seen much of his filmography after the first Alice in Wonderland movie.
Big Eyes. Big Eyes is another great movie that people always ignore.
Yeah. Is the Dumbo remake as bad as they say it is, or kind of decent? Because I keep hearing conflicting reports.
I hear mixed things. I haven't seen it myself, and I have no interest.
Ooh,
Unfortunately.
what about what is it? Monster Squad.
Ooh, that's a
oh
good
my
one.
God,
Yeah.
Brayton, I think you just killed the idea to do the Power Ranger Halloween special marathon.
Good. Let me drive it with the stake through the heart.
Yeah.
Bogus. Splat.
You know what? Here's another option. I haven't seen the Addams Family in like 20 years.
Oh,
my word.
yeah. Although, would it be too much for us to be doing a commentary over a comedy
Right.
that's already being a commentary over comedy?
That's
itself?
true, yeah. So we can just, so I think like the Monster Squad would probably work better.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
Oh, there's
Looking-
Andrew in the comments. We gotta get you back.
No.
We gotta get you back on live stream of consciousness, Andrew. Which is, yeah, I think
Is dead.
No, it's coming back. But I think I'm gonna do a more episodes and kind of scale back the amount of people I invite, just to see how that will work for a little bit. So, like, me and Mark Rivers are doing a live stream of consciousness in the middle of this week. Although I may eventually bring on other people as it goes on.
Wait, Tim Burton made a Hansel and Gretel movie?
You're not mistaking it for that Hansel and Gretel, the Witch Hunters movie, are you, Buddy Smith? There's a suspicious name.
No, apparently he did work on it was a television special from '83.
Oh,
Wow.
Yeah,
Interesting.
before he did Frankenweenie, he did this television special for the early burgeoning Disney Channel, and it's interesting, but it's not great. But it's early Tim Burton, so it's hilarious. So like for some,
But it's early Tim Burton, so
Yeah.
it's not great.
Yeah, it's interesting. I'll just say that. So okay.
You ever thought about doing an interview podcast, Raph, called "How You Doing"?
How you doing? That's the theme.
Yeah.
Oh my
Just
God.
do it in character, like a 30-minute podcast.
I'm here with Paul Friesman. He's gonna tell us how he did all the Bugs Bunny voices on the Power Ranger show. Talk to us, old man. Oh God.
Yeah, this would be a fun thing to do, like a nostalgic commentary every month or so.
Yeah, but no. Okay, when you were off doing stuff,
In Boo Land.
yeah, shut up. We briefly had the silly idea of doing another live watch for Halloween, but it'd be all the Power Ranger most, not all, but some of the Power Ranger Halloween specials.
That would be interesting.
Yeah, but here's the list of Power Ranger Halloween specials for posterity's sake, and also hear Brayton's discouragement throughout the reading. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers 1 had Life as a Masquerade and Trick or Treat, with Frankie the Frankenstein monster and Pumpkin Rapper respectively. Season 2 had Lord Zed's Monster Mash and the video special Lord Zed's Monster Heads, which is really just reused footage of Lord Zed hanging out with his monsters in the palace. Power Rangers Zeo had the It Came from Angel Grove, where Adam has a nightmare where he's stuck in a B movie. So in other words, a regular day working at Power Rangers. Thank you, Brayton, for your music.
Yeah, keep going.
Power Rangers Operation Overdrive had Ronnie on Empty, aka the episode where I don't know what happened in that one. Power Rangers Samurai has Party Monsters, which is the weird episode where all the monsters in heaven talk about their past battles with the Rangers.
Bless you.
Are you okay?
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, are you secretly a nine-tailed cat monster from the 3rd season of Power Rangers? Anyways. And after that, it just becomes stupid. I'm not going to read the rest of these. So, all right, never mind.
I know what episode you're talking about. I think Ronnie on Empty is the one where or I could be wrong. No, wait, never mind. That was Mystic Force, where one of the Ranger girls were turned into a vampire.
Yeah.
Pay me no mind.
Oh yeah, Mystic Force. And that was a two-parter too, where we had a Pink Ranger who could transform into a giant fairy Zord, who was also temporarily a giant fairy Zord's vampire. God, I love this series. Where would you see that in any other show in the world?
Mm-hmm.
On the Looney Bin Network.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so, all right. So, okay, now that we're all calmed down and stuff, what did you guys honestly think about revisiting the '90s Power Ranger movie?
I think it stinks.
He's right. Well, seriously. Was it a rainbow turkey?
No, he was being serious. What do you want from him?
It's definitely there's definitely I probably enjoyed this more than I did the last time 6 years ago, but only probably because I was watching it with you guys.
Yeah.
So I think this is a fun movie to watch, ironically, but there's definitely a lot of charm to this film. It's certainly not a good movie. It's probably not even good even by the low standards of Power Rangers. But I would say that there is fun to be had with this movie, but mainly for fans who are familiar with this sort of ridiculous stuff. Although it is fun to show this, I can imagine how fun it would be to show this as someone who isn't into Power Rangers, who'd probably be who'd probably be like confounded by the ridiculous levels of ridiculousness in this film.
Why are we all looking towards Brayton's direction right now?
Well, this was my gateway drug into Power Rangers as a child, and you can tell how much it affected me because this is all I ever watched after that.
Yeah, in a way, it does represent some of the best aspects of Power Rangers, while also showcasing a lot of the worst aspects of Power Rangers.
So it's a good summary.
Yeah,
I'd say so. It's a good summary of Mighty Morphin at the very least.
Right. You know, it's funny when Brayton says this was my gateway drug. I just keep thinking of that after-school special from the 70s.
Yeah, it's a gateway drug, and someone gave me some skunk weed, and it just stank.
Oh no, the one where the girl tries speed for just a droplet of speed, and it cuts to her running down the school hallway and crashing out the window to her death from the 3rd story. So you're okay, Brayton. Don't worry, you didn't die.
I think I died about an hour and 30 minutes ago.
Right. So, Win, what did you think of this movie after rewatching it?
It's still a bit of a guilty pleasure. I can ascertain why a lot of people perceive it as a bad movie, because it is, but it's a guilty pleasure.
Yeah.
Plus you kind of see how the CG hasn't really aged too well, but it's still a treat to watch, even with the acting being pretty hammy, but you get the beautiful scenery from the filming in Australia. The choreography is pretty well done, and they kind of knew their audience because small children, you gotta keep everything active or they're gonna get bored.
Yeah. So, I think I was way more merciful on this movie than you guys were. Because I'm unfortunately one of those people, I think he appreciates the technical, artistic aspects more so than the actual substance. Style over substance. So I'm like, wow, look at that dinosaur marionette puppet. And the rest of you are like, whatever. Why is Tommy continuing saying he yahs everywhere? But
look at that Jason David Frank marionette puppet.
That's one thing that's always really made me salty, and it's why I kind of always enjoyed the later Power Rangers series, because nothing against Tommy, but it feels like a lot of the scenes are really intrusive. We don't really get the agency of the other Rangers. Where in stuff like Ninja Storm, the first bit of Dino Thunder, and, well, also the rest of Dino Thunder, even if Tommy was in it, we got to see the other Rangers interact, get good character development.
Mm-hmm.
And the same thing with Ninja Storm, Jungle Fury. I especially love the character development for RJ, because he was one of my favorites in Jungle Fury.
He was the purple wolf ranger / owner of the pizza jungle restaurant.
Mm-hmm. And yeah. I loved how brave some of the earlier franchises have gotten, like having Kendrick sacrifice her life on screen. Holy shit, that took some balls.
Yeah, and that actress was fighting leukemia at the time, so there was a good chance her death was going to be completely permanent if the actress herself didn't make it out okay in the end.
Yeah, plus, let's see, I think it was the Magna Ranger, his death?
Mm-hmm. Oh, the Magna Defender, yeah,
Magna Defender. It's been forever since I've seen it. I just remember that he had sacrificed his life, and it showed a really sweet scene of him being reunited with his late son.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
or in the Japanese Sentai, his little brother.
Yes. So Sad that was the same episode where our heroes fought the Freaky Tiki Man, so it's kind of a bad juxtaposition between good character drama and Freaky Tiki.
Fair.
Yeah, only in Power Rangers. Oh my god. So anyways, but no, with that says, like, revisiting this movie with you guys, it is one of those. I don't like using the term guilty pleasure, but similar to what Double Toasted says, it is one of those movies that's more fun to enjoy in a group to laugh at than it is to try to watch on your own and try to laugh with it. So, and not only that, but there's been way worse examples of Power. Like, this is a good summary movie, but we all know there's worse versions of Power Rangers out there.
Yep.
Yeah. Dead silence. Anyone else? We can change the subject. We're done talking about Power Rangers if you guys want.
I'm happy to keep talking about it. It's just I keep muting my mic so I don't crunch a carrot in your ear.
Oh, okay. That's a good idea. So, yeah, it would be rude to be eating on air like that. I am so sorry. That is like one of the worst jokes I've done in this whole year.
One of the worst jokes you've made all this year so far.
That's right. We got 3 months to go. And we got the Glue
God damn
podcast
it.
coming up. So who knows how that turd's gonna land.
Let's see. There was Steve had 2 more comments. If I can remember right, I thought the focus on Tommy was due to the survey Saban gave parents and kids listed Tommy as their favorite. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Remembers of the VR Troopers pilot where Jason David Frank was originally the main star before they had to bring him back for the Green Ranger.
No, yeah, it's weird. VR Troopers originally started as a series called Cybertron, which was more true to the Japanese series it was aping, Metalder. But then they realized Jason David Frank was way too popular to be put onto another show. And Cybertron got reworked into VR Troopers for better and for worse, depending on who you speak to. So, I'm just double checking my notes. Yeah, I went over everything other than talking about the complex union laws in Australia and why the stunt actors had a hard time working there. So, but we're good. All right, but yeah, about that Double Toasted review though. Do you think they were too harsh on this movie, or you think that they went into it with a much better level of mockery than we did tonight?
I expected them to go the way they did because it's knowing the Double Toasted crew, knowing that none of them grew up with Power Rangers. It's pretty much exactly what I expected.
Okay, so. All right, I think we're gonna wrap things up since I can't think of doing anything else, and we've done 3 hours of this so far. I feel like we were on like a bender, like a bar binge, and then we hit the final World's End bar, and it's like, yeah, let's call it a night. All right, so you guys have any last words or final thoughts before we call it a night?
It was indeed morphin time.
Right. Guys, Win, Brayton.
Okay, I feel a lot better now.
Okay.
Wish I could say the same.
Don't worry, Brayton. Just thank your whiskers we didn't watch Super Mega Force.
Oh, did you want me to offer any of my thoughts on this movie rewatching it?
Yeah, I'm surprised you didn't.
Oh, I don't know. I don't really have anything spectacular. It's it's an enjoyable, fun, guilty pleasure type romp if you have some kind of connection to it. If you're someone new by this and you're an adult, I think you'd be completely alienated by it entirely. And if you're a kid watching this, there's worse things you could watch as a kid, like Caligula or something. I don't know.
Or live stream consciousness.
Porno Holocaust. Probably not in comparison.
Why would you mention what Holocaust? Ugh. It's a horrible
Porno
movie.
Holocaust?
Don't start acting like you're high and mighty, Raph.
Let's start talking about your characters, Raph.
Okay, we're done. All right, any last words, everyone, before we call it a night?
I think I've said my piece.
Okay. All right, so we'll see you all in October for the Power Ranger Halloween Marathon. 17
which may or may not be in my channel.
Yeah. Well, in reality, I actually oh god.
Which may or may not kill Brayton Connor.
Okay.
No, I think Monster Squad would be far more manageable,
Yeah.
and
Well, that's what I was about to say. Yeah.
I wouldn't have a stroke mid podcast.
Is that why you're so quiet? You're like Paul Freeman. We're pushing you in a little wheelbarrow.
No, I'm like Paul Frees, silent and dead and depressed.
Right. So, with his raspy, wasky rabbit voice.
No.
Anyways, no, it's like we're pushing you in a wheelbarrow to the hospital as you're dressed in purple makeup. Like, make it stop. Make it stop.
Welcome to my nightmare.
Okay, but no, I had a fun time with you guys, regardless of the shame and aftermath we're dealing with right now. Okay, and I want to also thank everyone else in the comment section. Yeah, if we do another nostalgia watch in October, it definitely won't be a Power Ranger marathon. Although the idea of Monster Mash or other Halloween movies would sound good. Put your suggestions in the comments before.
Oh, that's
leave.
a great idea. Leave it up to them, the moronic masses.
Right, and also next week, before the end of September, I'm uploading the first episode of Inshoma Likes Giant Monsters, which is related to Power Rangers because it's focused on Madame Woe from the first season of Power Rangers. And yes,
and Shoma Likes Giant Monsters. It's a sub series in relation to the No Shit Chronicles.
Right. So, and that's pretty much it. We'll have more announcements as time goes on. There's also the Glue podcast.
The Glue podcast.
Yeah, that's coming very soon. And
Wow, we said that in stereo.
Yes. On the count of three, we'll all say at once. 1, 2, 3. The Glue.
The Glue podcast.
Yeah. Wait, Andres, did you say go fuck yourselves?
Damn it.
Damn it, Andres. Yeah.
plead the fifth.
Yes, Warrior King, Madam Woe. Oh no, we're in trouble. So yeah, and that's pretty much it. And later this week, around Thursday, I'm doing a live stream of consciousness. It's an experimental one where I'm just going to be with me and my friend Mark Rivers. But if we bring in more people, because it's chaos on this damn channel. So. Okay, so I want to thank Brayton, Wynn, and Andres for coming on board and suffering this multicolored rainbow turkey with me. So, everyone take care and good night.
You're going to play an outro song?
And may the power protect you.
An outro song?
Yeah.
Oh.
I. Something like that?
Also, remember to wear your mask and wash your hands.
Exactly.
And 5 Primal Warrior Drinking Volumes 1 and 2 available on Amazon now.
Right. I'm sorry, I started playing the Tinder song. I didn't hear a word you say, Andres.
It's okay.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Listen to a word I say.
Right. Okay. No, that's
Just like a Power Ranger, make your sex life more excitable for you and your spouse. And,
okay, we're done.
Take it home in boxes, take it home in